Welcome to the 35th Annual Regina Humane Society Telethon, presented by Access Communications. With your generous donations, we have raised important operating funds for homeless, abused, and abandoned animals. Tonight, the Regina Humane Society again needs your support to help animals in our community and continue their many programs and services. So sit back and enjoy 3 hours of caring and sharing, and see how your donations make a difference to animals in need. From Access Communications Studios, it's the 35th Annual Regina Humane Society Telethon.
Well, thanks for joining us here at the Regina Humane Society Telethon. I'm Lisa Peters from Access Now TV.
I'm Lee Jones from CTV News in Regina.
And I'm Lisa Cook from the Regina Humane Society, and this is Dumpling, also of the Regina Humane Society.
Hopefully not for long, though.
No.
Well, we're super excited that you guys joined us. We have been here, this is 35 years. We've raised over $1.4 million to date. And in the next 3 hours, we need to raise $75,000, Lee.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of money, but I know we're going to reach that goal. Now, for 58 years, the Regina Humane Society has worked to improve the welfare of animals in our community through programs and services, shelter, education, protection, advocacy. All those funds raised tonight, by the way, will go towards the care of thousands of stray, abandoned, abused, and of course, sometimes neglected animals, unfortunately.
Yeah, and in 2022, there were 3,600 animals that were rescued and brought into shelter at the Regina Humane Society. Animals like Dumpling, Lisa Cook.
Yes, animals like Dumpling, who has decided to crawl over my shoulder. Dumpling was surrendered to the Regina Humane Society along with her siblings. And so she, along with probably about 100 other animals, are waiting to find their homes at the shelter.
All right. Now, for anyone watching, I believe there is a number probably at the bottom of your how to make a donation.
There it is, yes.
It is there. So we want you to make a donation. We have 3 hours, but don't wait. We have lots coming up to entertain you and lots of education to show you more about what is going on today. How can people make a donation?
Well, you can see the number on your screen right now, 306-565-5300. Plus, you could donate online at reginahumanesociety.ca. That's a great way to do it. That's kind of the new age that we're doing. Or you can scan the QR code on your screen. We don't have it up yet, but there will be a QR code that you can scan it. You can go that way as well. So there's a variety of ways that you can donate tonight.
Yeah, and I know that if you're following us here on TV, you could be following us on your app, but also we're on social media, so we want you to be posting tonight. If you got a favorite animal out there, you've rescued an animal, we want you to shelter, that you've sheltered, rescued, get it out there and start posting.
All right, let's get to the phones now. I know that Cassidy, Chris, Bill, they're all ready to take your call with some guests.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lee. Yes, I am Cassidy from Z99 and Ralco Radio, joined by country superstar Chris Henderson and Bill Thorne from the Regina Humane Society. So happy to be here again tonight, surrounded by adorable animals all looking for homes, including little Alice. There's Alice. She has been dubbed the phone cat, so maybe you can chat with Alice when you call in your donation.
We can make that happen for sure. I'd like to welcome our hourly sponsors for hour number 1, Wheaton Kia. We've got some folks from the dealership here answering the phones, and they would love to talk to you. That's why they're here, and they want to be able to take your pledges for tonight. We're hoping to raise $75,000, so that's about $25,000 per hour, so we need to get that going. So please bring the phones at 306-565-5300.
A reminder, when you call in with your donation, if you call in with a minimum of $100, you will get this free RHS travel kit. So that's the $100 donation mark. And then if you call in and you do $250 or more, you can get this beautiful wireless charger as well.
And the cutlery set.
And the cutlery set. It becomes a combo platter at that point.
So we need those phones to ring. You can also donate online, reginahumanesociety.ca. And throughout the evening, if you see us glancing over and having a giggle, it's because there is a puppy named Hope, and we are live on Facebook. If you go to the Regina Humane Society Facebook page, there is a live puppy cam featuring Hope, who is already pretty rambunctious tonight.
She's already shaking it up, too.
Yeah.
So.
Hope's putting on a show.
Yeah, she is. We're going to have a look at another dog right now, a pet that came through the Humane Society after being found abandoned and struggling to stand. Mario received the life-saving care he needed thanks to your generous support.
Sometimes an animal at the Regina Humane Society amazes staff with their courage and determination. A compassionate stranger found Mario struggling to stand alongside a lonely rural highway. With one look, it was obvious the abandoned dog was desperate and required immediate help. His new defender brought him to the safety of the Regina Humane Society. Shelter veterinarians examined Mario before sedating him for a closer look. Less than 2 years old, the young husky mix clearly endured hardships no animal should ever experience. Mario's body was teeming with painful lesions, his coat filled with dirt and debris. Severely matted fur twisted and pulled on his tender skin. His discomfort was made worse by an infestation of parasites which ravaged his entire body. Staff completed the delicate task of removing the agonizing knots and ragged fur from Mario's emaciated frame, a kindness that finally provided some relief to his pain. Mario received medication to soothe his inflamed and infected skin. During his recuperation, Mario's personality began to emerge and shine. The delighted pup loved spending time outside where he ran and showed off his previously unseen, goofy side. In time, healed and healthy, he was ready to be placed up for adoption. Mario's story was shared on the Society's Facebook page. Social media plays an integral part in connecting pets with their soon-to-be new families. With over 64,000 social media followers, every share brought Mario closer to finding a home. Staff celebrated the day Mario met his new family and went home. The Regina Humane Society strives to ensure that every animal will leave the shelter with a better life. This once abandoned dog now spends his days enjoying the comfort and love of his new home. The neglect and pain he experienced are now a distant memory. Mario's story of survival and resilience is an inspiration. Once destined to face a grim future, Mario now enjoys a life where he receives all the love he deserves and more thanks to your support. Help the Regina Humane Society continue to make dreams come true for more people and pets. Make your donation now.
All right, we're back here at the Executive Director of the Regina Humane Society, Lisa Cook, as well as Chris Taschuk, who is a board president of the Board of Directors. Thank you for joining me here. And maybe, Chris, let's start with you. How important is this event for the Board of Directors, and just what kind of message do you want to get out there to everyone that's watching?
Well, hey, every year this is important because of all the operations and little guys like Kiwi here. We get so many of these animals in, and we really want to find homes for every single one of them, and it takes money to feed them, to get them, back into a good, healthy situation, and also just to house them. We're kind of like a temporary hotel, so Kiwi's only here for a good time, but not a long time.
Long time for sure. 2022 was a great year. I know a lot of people are focused on the new facility coming later this year, but what were some of the major accomplishments, and how much did the donations to an event like this help that?
Well, 2022 was a difficult year for the Regina Humane Society. We, like everyone else, experienced the effects of inflation. Costs went up straight across the board, but so did our animals. We had close to 200 more animals in 2022 than we have had in any other previous year. The good news is that our save rate we've been able to maintain our save rate, and our communities really come together to adopt and volunteer and donate, which is what we really need people to do tonight to make sure that all of these animals, including the extra that we're seeing post-pandemic, have an opportunity to go home as soon as possible.
Definitely. What plans does the Regina Humane Society have for the future? Once again, we're aware of what we're going to see, and a lot of people are excited about this new facility, but what's next in store?
Well, next is our new facility. Our existing facility is close to 6 decades old that we've been operating out of, and anybody who has visited us there knows that we can't stay there much longer. And so being able to move to a new facility that's a community center that is bright and open for animals as well as people is really going to be transformational for what we're going to be able to do for animal welfare in the community.
Yeah, and this, I don't want to say state of the art, but this is going to be the jealous other cities looking at this facility and being like, wow, this is going to be fantastic.
Well, we've been, it's always the right sized, and so it's not too extravagant, but it's actually going to be able to deliver a lot of services a lot easier. And as being part of the community, we're actually going to be in the community now, and that's going to be huge for us. So it's going to be accessible, bus routes, people will be able to get there next to parks, instead of next to IPSCO. Nothing against IPSCO or ever has now, but
Right.
it's going to be a lot better place for everybody. People that work there, people that want to come visit us and get guys like this.
And the facility and everything that's going to be happening there and everything that's happening in the old facility, donations is what helps, and that's what we need tonight. Once again, the phone number, area code 306-565-5300. We need your donations.
The Regina Humane Society is dedicated to improving the well-being of animals in our community. As a progressive and respected leader in animal welfare and advocacy, the Society needs your support to provide these life-saving programs and services. Adoptions. Pets of every age, size, and breed, including dogs, cats, and small animals, are matched with loving families. The Cathedral Pet Stop, Halo Pets, Pat's Pets, Pet Depot, Petland, PetSmart, and Pet Value all serve as satellite adoption centers. Animal Protection Services. Officers are on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to assist injured, abused, and distressed animals. They educate and enforce City of Regina bylaws, the Animal Protection Act of Saskatchewan, and the Criminal Code of Canada. Community Outreach. At-risk and underserved communities are offered resources, services, and learning opportunities to support and improve animal welfare. Dog training classes. Play and reward-based learning builds skills and strengthens the bond between dogs and their owners. Foster care. Trained volunteers provide short-term, in-home care for animals who are too young, in recovery, or in need of socialization before adoption. Humane education.
Be kind to them.
Children learn about pet care, safe behavior with pets, and develop important character-building skills, including empathy, responsibility, respect, and kindness. Kitty readers. Children practice reading in a fun, engaging way while socializing shelter cats. Lost and found. Online lost and found pet reporting, pet license, and microchip programs ensure lost pets are reunited with their families. Pet cremation services. Respectful cremation services help families say goodbye and remember their beloved pet. Safe places. Foster families provide safe and caring temporary homes for pets of victims escaping domestic violence. Service learning. Youth, including those with cognitive or physical disabilities, are those undertaking vocational assistance, combining learning objectives with community service at the shelter. Shelter Hospital. As the only shelter hospital in Saskatchewan, high-quality veterinary care is provided to every animal who enters the Regina Humane Society. Spay-Neuter Clinic. Shelter veterinarians provide sterilization services to adopted pets and those from financially disadvantaged families through the subsidized Spay-Neuter program. Volunteer programs. Volunteers provide support to a variety of departments, including animal care, special events, and administration. Through your generosity, the Regina Humane Society continues to offer these vital programs and services. Make your call now to support this life-saving work.
Well, we are at the phones, and I definitely love when I hear them ring and people talking, so this is a happy place to be. We've got Amanda Breers here. She is the manager of annual giving, and we're going to talk about the PAW Plan monthly giving program. First off, what is PAW?
PAW stands for Pre-Authorized Withdrawal.
All right. So can you tell us a little bit about it? What is it?
So you can make a meaningful difference in the lives of shelter animals all year long. By signing up for PAWS, you benefit our animals every month with a safe and secure automatic withdrawal from your bank account or your credit card. Monthly giving also allows us to create sustainable plans for animal care, education, and rescue. And with the support of our loyal monthly PAWS donors, the Regina Humane Society is able to continue to feed, shelter, and provide veterinary care for thousands of animals each year. And so your manageable monthly donations will just add up to that significant gift throughout the year.
It sounds pretty easy.
Yeah.
So how do we join?
So you can join. You can sign up online at www.reginahumanesociety.ca under How to Help. Or you could let one of our phone volunteers know, and they'll take your information.
All right. Let one of the phone volunteers know, right?
Absolutely. And a reminder, if you are calling in to talk to one of those phone volunteers. That number is 565-5300. As they've said, you can also find us at reginahumanesociety.ca. You can scan the QR code, and we want to thank a few folks that have done just that. Sylvia Walters donated $100. Susan Caskey donated $500. Jim Hollinger with $50. Joyce Peacock with $250. There's a long list here. Sheila Klein with $1,000. Margaret Day with $100. Vicki McKinnon with $200. Patty Dobby with $500. Brett LeBlanc with $100. And New Hope Lutheran Players $210. So lots of great pledges already coming in. So with that, we want to take you to the next video clip. The staff of the Regina Humane Society, like Amanda here, are dedicated to helping the animals in their care. Let's hear from the Society's Supervisor of Animal Care now.
I'm Megan Simonson. I'm the Supervisor of Animal Care with the Regina Humane Society. So when Booker arrived at the shelter, I went with Dr. Chow to go and check on him. A vet request was submitted because he had some open wounds. When we went to go check on him, he was in the back of his kennel and he was really shut down. But as we got closer to him, his little tail started to just wag back and forth, and he was in really rough shape. So that wound had been infected for, I imagine, quite a long time. We shaved all of his fur. We cleaned his wounds. Dr. Chow placed some drains in him. And by the end of it, he was a different dog, and oh my heavens, that was a big cleanup. We probably had like 2 or 3 garbage bags worth of towels and hair and gauze and everything just to make sure that we got him set up as best we could so that he could continue on the path of healing. And you knew that there was just a dog down there deep in there that really just wanted to be loved and really wanted to just have a person. He was in foster for quite some time. It took a long time for those wounds to heal, but when they did, and he was brought back, Booker came walking in the shelter, and it was so incredible to see that he had really just flourished and become the dog that we knew he could from the beginning. When you give money to the Regina Humane Society, you're able to support all of these happy stories. You are a part of those stories. It really isn't possible without your support. And so I just want to say thank you. And I hope that continued support can help us save all the animals in the future and let us have a lot more happy stories like Booker's.
All right, we're joined by Candace Davis, Enrichment Coordinator, and Holly Wright, the Assistant Supervisor of Pathway Planning and 3 adoptable pets. Candace, you obviously took break a leg entertainment-wise a little too literally, but
I did, yes.
That's unfortunate. Yes. But you have a cute, adoptable, adorable
I do.
here.
This is the very sweet little Raven. She's about 8 weeks old, and she's full nap mode today. So I'm impressed with all this hustle and bustle that she still has sleepy eyes. So she would be a sweet cuddle buddy, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And just a reminder that we're open for adoptions Tuesday through Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. But I also want to remind you about our satellite adoption centers. We have 8 of them in Regina that are responsible for almost half of the adoptions, particularly with cats that we see each year. And they are Cathedral Pet Shop, Halo Pets, Pat's Pets, Pet Depot, Petland, PetSmart 2 locations, and also Pet Value. So even though we're only open at the shelter Tuesday through Sunday, you can adopt there anytime that they're open.
Amazing. So the number to call is 306-565-5300. We're here with Holly and a very happy Hope. What can you tell us about little Hope here, who just loves the attention?
She adores attention. So this is Hope. She's about 3 months old. We think she's a boxer staffy cross, but we're not entirely sure. She came into us as a stray, so we don't know much about her history, but what we do know is she is full of love and looking for her forever home.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous dog and very happy, and again featured on the live feed on the Regina Humane Society's Facebook page.
And right now we'd like to, we're in the business of saving lives. That's what the Regina Humane Society is all about. And let's meet one of the animals that your continued generosity has helped.
Things are already going pretty good. We already had the 2 cats and the 1 dog, and we had talked about another dog perhaps.
My massage therapist knows that I'm a huge cat person, and she showed me a picture of him when I was seeing her for an appointment, and I was in love with him right then and there. The medical foster contacted me the morning that he was being released and said, I can set you up a meet and greet if you want to go and meet him. And I said, yep, we'll be there. And it was love at first sight.
You know, as soon as they let him out of the carrier, he came over and started snuggling up to me, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're probably taking him home.
I think he chose you. I think he knew that you were the one that he needed to butter up.
You know, you could tell that he just really needed some good love in his life, because he had obviously had a pretty tough go to start.
Well, the ears and the tail were lost to frostbite. That we know. His eye, we don't know if it was infection or illness or an accident or maybe a fight with another cat. We really don't know.
He was just happy to be somewhere warm, I think. And eventually, you know, you got to see more of who he truly was. He absolutely loves food. If we're about to put out food in the morning, he's the first cat there. He's pretty curious and very brave. Nothing really phases him.
Nothing. It took him a little while to get used to life in a house. There's still things that baffle him, like a sink. That was a revelation to him. He loves it when you put the tap on. He's super playful.
I think the Humane Society stepping in when they did was really important, because Klaus needed treatment right away, and of course there was nobody else that was going to save him and get him the treatment that he needed.
I think they caught him right when they needed to, and I'm so grateful that they were able to save him because he's a very good boy. People should donate to the Humane Society to help with animals like Klaus, who otherwise wouldn't have a chance, wouldn't make it, wouldn't survive, wouldn't be able to be placed in a home. I think that the work that they do is incredible, and we'll keep supporting them. Sometimes when people see a cat who looks a little bit differently or maybe has a disability, they may overlook them. I think that animals like Klaus should be given a chance and should not be passed over because they're wonderful.
There's nothing really holding him back. He just wants to be around people, and he's very happy, so it's a very nice addition to our house for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. All animals should be given a chance. And right now, Officer Isaac, Animal Protection Officer, joins me. And thank you for everything you do and save these little animals and give them a second chance. First off, thank you.
No, thank you. It's definitely worth it.
So we today are going to talk about Animal Protection Services, are responsible for the enforcement of City of Regina's Animal Control Bylaw. Yeah. So what types of bylaw issues does your team address?
So we deal with anything from running at large dogs, as well as injured, distressed animals, as well as defecation complaints, running at large complaints. We deal with the Dangerous Dog Act as well, and licensing complaints.
So what animals require a City of Regina pet license?
So every dog and cat in the City of Regina is required a license. Even if they're indoor animals, they're still required that license.
And I mean, for all those people who think, I don't really need a license, what are the benefits of maintaining the license?
So for starters, it's another form of identification just to get that animal home to you a little bit quicker. Instead of the animal necessarily coming into the shelter, people can just call in with that tag number. As well, if the animal comes in and the animal is sterilized, they would get a get out of jail free card if it was licensed. So they wouldn't get any fees and fines or anything like that. So definitely beneficial for sure.
So I know there's a lot of fines out there. How can people avoid them, just in general?
So things like, walking your dog on leash, making sure they stay on property. I know they can be escape artists, but doing your best, as well as cleaning up defecation when you take them on walks and stuff like that, picking up after your animal, just basic things like that.
Yeah, there are many parks that have the dog poop bags.
Poop bags,
yes,
for sure.
Just use them. So how can people get a pet license? Can they do this online? Do they need to come down? How do they do that?
So they can do it online at reginahumanesociety.ca under programs and services, as well as they can come down, or they can go to a vet clinic or to City Hall.
Okay. Now earlier we talked about all animals. We've heard great stories. Who is this that you have?
This is Percy, and Percy has 3 legs.
Oh, Percy. Well, Percy deserves a second chance.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Officer Isaac.
No, thank you.
So the Regina Humane Society Veterinaries team provides important sterilization surgeries and high-quality medical care for animals during their stay at the shelter. Here's more.
The Regina Humane Society witnesses firsthand the effects of pet overpopulation in our city. With the support of donors, the Regina Humane Society launched its mobile spay and neuter clinic in 2011 the first of its kind in Saskatchewan. The Regina Humane Society's veterinary team performs important sterilization surgeries and provides high-quality veterinary care for animals during their stay at the shelter. Since its launch, the veterinary clinic has added a second exam room where minor surgeries can also be performed. The acquisition of additional diagnostic equipment like dental x-rays and blood testing machines help improve animal care. The Regina Humane Society knows spaying and neutering is the long-term solution to pet overpopulation and performs approximately 2,500 sterilized surgeries every year. Increasing the number of animals who are sterilized is important to our community as it decreases the number of unwanted litters and reduces the number of homeless pets who are in need of shelter and care. Offered in partnership with the City of Regina, the Regina Humane Society's subsidized spay-neuter program reaches out to deliver essential spay and neuter surgeries to financially disadvantaged pet owners and registered animal rescue organizations. The vet team also adds microchips and tattoos. Pet identification is vital to quickly reunite owners with lost pets. Life-saving surgeries, treatments, and rehabilitation are supported by donations to the Faith Fund. The clinic gives injured, sick, or abused animals new hope and a chance to find a new family to call their own. The Regina Humane Society's veterinary hospital and spay-neuter clinic has transformed animal care at the shelter. The veterinary team is an essential part of the work the Society does to heal hurts and hearts, all made possible thanks to the generous support of donors like you. The clinic is proof that together we can continue to do amazing things for animals in our community.
And we're back with our first total?
It's time. We
It
haven't
is
had a
time.
total yet.
We haven't had a
and we
total
need to
yet.
find out how we're doing. So let's get on with it. Let's have our first total. Drum roll.
Drum roll.
Where is it?
Oh, we got a real one. I'll stop.
Yeah, we do. Where's our total?
Keep the drum roll going.
There we
Here you
go.
go.
Okay.
All right, our first total for this telethon is 14.
I'm going to say 14,730.
Hey, there's the one shut up.
14,731.
14,000.
That's right. Yeah, we just got that extra
So
dollar
keep
donated.
those phones ringing at 306-565-5300. It's been a great start. We've got a long ways to go.
We do, yeah. We're looking for $75,000 by the time the night's done or more. And hopefully that's a nice start for us there as well.
All right, and lots of donations from incredible people, including someone who we have seen throughout the years. This is Violet. And Violet, since you were 7 years old, you've been doing something a little different for your birthday. What can you tell us about it?
Well, instead of gifts, I've collected money and toys for donations to the Regina Humane Society. And I've raised over $2,000 throughout the years, with including my 7 birthdays and selling my old dolls for money, which I raised $400.
Unbelievable. Give it up for Violet, 13 years old now, and just one of the biggest hearts we know here at the telethon. So we say thank you so much for doing this, and maybe can we count on you for next birthday?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, Violet.
Thank you very much, Violet. Speaking of thank yous, I want to thank a few other people as well. Our hourly sponsor for our first hour, Wheaton Kia, and we've got some folks from there on the phones. Also Access Communications, of course. 35 years we've been doing the telethon, and they've been our supporter and donated the use of their studio and equipment and volunteers. It's absolutely fantastic. Also to GV Audio for our microphones. Also Christy Lights for supplying the effects in our lighting tonight. Coots Courier for delivering incentive prizes. And to Sub Express for catering the telethon tonight.
Absolutely. And once again, we want to remind you that phone number to call. We love to hear those phones ringing is 565. I almost forgot 5300 for a moment. You can go to reginahumanesociety.ca or you can scan the QR code. And also remember, we have a puppy cam on the Facebook page tonight. Hope is putting on a show, ladies and gentlemen, and it is
She's
worth
eating
checking
something.
it out. Right now, she is chewing on something, and trust me, that's about the cutest dog you're going to find kicking around. Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you don't take that puppy home tonight, Chris,
Yeah.
She is available.
She's giving me the eyes.
She is available
or
for
she'll
adoption.
find a family for sure, which we see all the time with the pets featured here tonight. They find incredible families with big hearts, and we're about to see another connection here.
Absolutely. And on that note, let's go over to the phones to check in with Lee and Annette.
That's right. Here with Annette Lorenz, manager of Pathway Planning. We're also here with Spot. And, of course, our phone cat, Alice, is still taking calls. So call right meow. Once again, 565-5300. So, Annette, over 2,000 adoptions last year.
Yep.
Cats, dogs, birds, rabbits, rodents.
You name
Men
it.
in a doghouse. You've done it all. How do you adopt a pet from the Regina Humane Society?
Well, we are open for adoptions from Tuesday right till Sunday from 12 till 6. Come down to the shelter, peruse, and see. And when you find your match, you come up to the front. You talk to the wonderful adoption counselors we have up there, and they'll set you up with a meet and greet, and then you can take home your new forever friend.
How much are adoptions at the Regina Humane Society?
So we have a variety of prices for cats. Our older senior cats run at around $75, up to $195 for the kittens. Of course, if you're in the city of Regina, you'll have to pay the $20 license on top of that. And that includes spay or neuter. They started on their vaccination series. They're microchipped, they're tattooed, so they're dewormed. So they are ready to rear and go right into your home and your hearts.
And you never know, occasionally some of the animals have those fees paid by somebody as
Yes, so occasionally we get very kind souls out there who sponsor an adoption. Sometimes it's a foster family who want to sponsor their foster, or sometimes just wonderful citizens out there that call in and sponsor an adoption of a wonderful pet. Also, all the pets can be viewed on our website, so if you want to browse first, you can go to our website and view all the adoptable animals.
And there are some satellite, adoption centers as well. We're looking at the Cathedral Pet Shop, High-Low Pets, Pat's Pets, Pet Depot, Petland, PetSmart, 2 locations, and Pet Value. So there's other options as well if need be.
Absolutely. So with the nice thing about the satellites is that they're open. Most of them are open 7 days a week. Some aren't. Lots of them are open past the hours that the shelter aren't open. So just fits into another avenue of other people's lifestyle if you can't make it to the shelter.
All right, Spot says 565-5300 if you want to donate. Now, we'll take a look now at the Regina Humane Society's training coordinator. Shows us a bit of a simple training activity that you can do at home with your own dog.
We're here with Emily Garland, who is the training coordinator at the Regina Humane Society and heads up our training program with a wide array of training classes for dogs and their owners. Everything from puppies and the very basics of dog training right up until agility and some other classes as well. And we've also got Jinx here, who is going to help Emily with a couple of demonstrations on some of the things that pet owners, dog owners should know.
Perfect. So at all levels of training, whether behavior training, puppies, etc., I often get asked, oh, how can I get my dog to come when they are called? Or they're coming when called, but they're not coming close enough so that the owner could potentially wrangle them, put a leash back on them, or if they ran out the door, that somebody could catch them. So regardless of where you're at in your recall training, I would start or get back to having your dog come close enough that they could touch you. If they can touch you, you can likely touch them and potentially grab them if you needed to. So all you're going to need is a tasty bit of cheese and your hand. Show your dog your treat. Move, let them grab that treat out of your hand. Okay, do it from both hands. Treat. Move, let the dog find that treat. Once they are happy finding it on both hands, throw one out. Okay. Move your hand down. Good. Let them touch that hand. Make sure they get nice and close. The hand isn't coming to them. The dog is coming to the hand. For an extra bit, you can toss out. Okay. Show your hands. And then when they come to grab that cookie, you can easily catch them up. Okay. You can put your recall word on that later, but that's just a game to either get you started with your recall or start putting an element of being able to come in close enough to be grabbed from your recall.
Thanks, Emily, and Jinx, of course, too. And if you'd like more information about the different training classes that we do have available through the Regina Humane Society, please visit our website at reginahumanesociety.ca.
All right, well, we have Holly Wright with us, who's beside me, Assistant Supervisor of Pathway Planning, and we've got Candace Davis, Enrichment Coordinator, and we have 2 very lovely adoptable cats.
Yes.
Kittens.
Kittens.
Let's hear about them.
Well, this is Marlin and his sister Dory, and they're about 5 weeks old.
They were brought into us originally as a surrender because unfortunately the owner wasn't able to care for them any longer, so we took over care. And they're currently in foster care because they're only about 5 weeks old, but starting tomorrow they're going to be available for adoption in foster.
It's their 6-week birthday tomorrow.
Six-week
So
birthday.
to celebrate, we are putting them up for adoption in foster.
Yeah.
Birthday
It's a birthday.
So that means that they'll be eligible to be adopted while in foster care, and they can be adopted sight unseen, and then we can do the meet with their potential, or the people that will be adopting them when they turn 8 weeks old. So we'll arrange a time for them to come pick them up. And I mean, I've never met anybody that's met the cat and went, no, I don't want them. But if that ever did happen, we would just refund your money in that case, or give you a credit.
So let's talk a little bit about adoption fee.
For sure. So for these little guys, it would be $195, and that will include their spay or neuter, tattoo, and microchip. They'll also get a complimentary vet exam, as well as any vaccinations we provided up to date. So these guys have had a few already, and so they'll have a few under their belt for when they go home.
All right. So now the shelter is open certain days, but can you view them online?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We have our website. It's updated every 20 minutes, so it is real time. So you don't have to stress that you're missing out on anybody.
Yeah. And when is the shelter open for adoption?
It's open Tuesday through Sunday from noon until 6.
And I know that a lot there, I mean, I think we were talking earlier, there's different satellite locations. I mean, these cats will be at the Humane Society?
Right.
No? Or they're adopted?
No,
they'll be adopted in foster care.
Right, they're in
hopefully.
foster care.
Yeah.
But we do have our satellite centers throughout the city. I think we have 7 now.
7 or 8. So there's both the PetSmarts, Pet Depot, Pet Value, Halo Pets, Petland, Cathedral Pet Shop, and I think that's it.
Oh.
I feel like I'm missing someone, but I'm not.
You said Pet Value, right?
Yeah. And Pet Value. That's who I missed. Yes, and Pet Value.
Yeah, I really love the partnerships that you've created there, and just because more people can get out to see the animals, so I love it.
They're so invaluable.
Yeah.
We're so thankful.
All right, well, we are now going to head to the main stage because Chris Henderson's here, and we've been waiting for this, so I hope you enjoy Chris Henderson.
Before it gets going, I'll just ask Chris, just tell us about the song you're going to sing.
You know, I wrote one in the middle of recording last year, and it's called I Love You Forever. I stole a bunch of Robert Munch lyrics and turned it into a song that I sing to my dog, and she howls at me when I do it, so it seemed appropriate for tonight.
Works for tonight. Take it away.
Awesome, thank you. My mama taught me a song, and every night she'd sing it to me. She took me in, I'd plead, sing it again, sing until I fell asleep. And I love you forever. You mean the whole world to me. For as long as I'm living, long after that, my baby you'll always be. I fell in love with a girl. One night I played her song. She sang the same words back to me with a new melody. We knew that neither was wrong. And I love you forever. You mean the whole world to me. For as long as I'm living, long after that, my baby you'll always be. Oh, Hope, you can sing with me. One night, she said she was leaving. was tired of me doing her wrong. Before she could leave, I fell down on my knees and begged her to stay with this song. And I'll love you forever, mean the whole world to me. For as long as I'm living, long after that, my baby you'll always be. And I'll love you forever, whether you stay or you leave. For as long as I'm living, long after that, my baby you'll always be. Yes, hope you'll be my baby.
Regina Humane Society staff were shocked when young Lucy arrived at the shelter in desperate need of care. She suffered a puncture wound to one eye, leaving it blind, infected, and extremely painful. Examination by shelter veterinarians confirmed her right eye was beyond repair. The best course of action would be to surgically remove it. Following Lucy's successful surgery, the 6-month-old poodle healed under the watchful care of a foster family. The Regina Humane Society foster program is a vital part of the Society's life-saving mission. Dedicated families open their hearts and homes to animals who are not yet ready for adoption. These animals may be too young, require additional socialization, or, like Lucy, are recovering from injury. Although Lucy's range of vision decreased, the world around her did not. Free from pain and discomfort, Lucy thrived in foster care. She enjoyed the comforts of home and made friends with everyone, both human and canine. Lucy spent her days dozing with her caregivers, going for car rides, and working on her manners. While the cause of Lucy's eye condition is unknown, her treatment and recovery ensured a bright future. Within weeks, Lucy was ready to find a family to call her own, and Lucy did not have to look far. During her recovery, she bonded with close friends of her foster family. It was a perfect match. Lucy was destined to be a permanent member of their family. This fun-loving pup now enjoys every minute of her new life, sharing cuddles with her canine and human siblings, playing in the snow, and relaxing on the couch. Like so many animals who rely on the Regina Humane Society for life-saving care, Lucy is thankful for shelter staff and volunteers. Their time and dedication make recovery possible. Your donation tonight will help the Regina Humane Society heal hurts and restore health to even more vulnerable animals. Lucy is loving her new life as a valued member of her family. Her journey was successful because of supporters like you. Join the Society's caring community by making a donation now.
What a story, and we are now joined by Nancy and Lucy. And Nancy, you were not sure how Lucy was going to be around the cats. Are you surprised?
She's doing great. Yeah, she's such a great girl.
Yeah, so how is Lucy doing since bringing her home?
So good. Yeah, she's amazing. She fits right into our family, loves her dog siblings, and her I have a 5-year-old son, and she loves him. So
it's perfect. Lots of adventures.
Great. Yeah, she's great.
What's her favorite thing to do these days?
Oh, outside in the snow.
Really?
Yeah,
She
I
enjoys
can't
the
get
snow.
her in. Yeah.
Yeah, well, soon the mud puddles will come, and I'm sure she'll love those as well. But unbelievable and kind of cool that you met Lucy through the foster family. You knew her?
Yes, I knew the girl. I did her hair. So she just called. She didn't know I was looking for another dog, and she called and said she had a dog that looked like my other doodle. So we FaceTimed, and of course I found love, and the rest is history.
It was meant to be.
Meant to be, yeah.
Adding Lucy to your life, what has that meant for you and your family?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great. I just love it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
I can't. I only had small dogs before, and now I have two huge ones and a little guy, so It's good. It's lots of fun.
Awesome. Well,
Keeps me
thank
busy.
you. Yeah, I bet. So thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Lucy, so much for being here. Let's get those phones to ring. 306-565-5300. Of course, we've got the Puppy Cam live on Facebook as well. Incredible stories throughout the evening here, and it wouldn't happen with things behind the scenes. So we're actually going to take a look at what the veterinarians do outside the telethon.
My name is Dr. Sydney Chow. I'm one of 3 veterinarians currently employed at the Regina Humane Society. We're the only shelter in Saskatchewan that has veterinarians on site, and this makes a huge difference to the quality of patient care. I perform the majority of the approximately 2,000 spay and neuter surgeries that the Regina Humane Society performs every year, as well as some other specialized and emergency surgeries. And while I enjoy doing a wide variety of different surgeries, probably the one that I and my staff get most excited about when we get to perform them would be the C-section. Elvira arrived at the Regina Humane Society in the process of giving birth. She was really struggling. She had given birth to 1 live kitten as well as 1 stillborn kitten, and there was a 3rd kitten still stuck inside of her. Upon arrival at the Regina Humane Society, she was immediately triaged by our medical team and then rushed into emergency surgery. Shortly thereafter, a little female kitten, whom we named Jelly Bean, was born. Jelly Bean was very small and unfortunately was having troubles breathing once she was delivered. Luckily, I have an amazing team of registered veterinary technicians who worked with Jelly Bean and got her breathing. Luckily, she was placed in the care of one of our most amazing foster families, and not only did Jelly Bean survive, but she thrived. I'm happy to report that today Jelly Bean, her mom, and her brother are happily adopted into loving homes. This happily ever after would not be possible, however, without people like you, the donors. As I'm sure you're aware, veterinary care is not cheap. The fact that the Regina Humane Society is able to employ an entire team of veterinarians, registered veterinary technicians, as well as support staff is directly attributable to your generous donations. So, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of myself, my team, and the patients, I thank you.
Well, I am here with Candace Davis, our enrichment coordinator with Regina Humane Society, and I got to tell you, I feel kind of fancy. I think this is like my 6th year of doing this telethon, and I don't think they've ever let me be on the pet set before. So
I like
I feel
it.
like I'm graduating up in the world, and happy to be talking with you here, Candace. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the importance of volunteer support at the shelter to help animals like our dear friend Raven here.
Absolutely. I mean, we have so many different volunteers in so many different capacities. I mean, we have our foster program, which is a huge one, but we also have our on-site volunteers where they will work with the animals, they can read to the animals, they can walk the dogs, they can help clean. We are currently going to be opening a photography sort of thing where volunteers can take photos of the animals that we use for adoption photos.
Love that.
And obviously we are very limited by our shelter right now with what we can have our volunteers do, just because it's such a tiny little space. But when we move, I think that's going to change a lot of things, and I can't wait.
I'm excited for that kind of thing. Now, can you tell us just very quickly about your Caring Hands program?
Yeah, so the Caring Hands program encompasses basically anything working with the animals. So that's a lot of the cat grooming, cat walking, dog grooming. And it's super important at the shelter, right? I mean, our staff are very, very busy, and we, of course, want to spend as much time with every animal, but it's really nice to know that we have volunteers to rely on to make sure that they feel extra love and that they can have somebody to take the time with them.
There are amazing people that work at the Humane Society, but the volunteers really are what drives the bus, if I may. So
they're key.
With that, thank you, Candace. We're going to go back to the main stage and check out what's going on there. We got a few furry friends hanging out.
Few furry friends, plus we have a new total to pass your way. Let's get to that right away so we can see what we got.
Exciting.
There we go, 19,431.
Well, we're on target for the 25,000 an hour, so we are on target. So this is good news. This is great news. Yeah.
And we've got 2 wonderful adoptables, so I'll bring in Holly Wright to mention who these are.
All right, so We've all kind of seen Alice already, but I figured it was time to introduce her. So this lovely little floof here is Alice. She's about 3 months old, and she was surrendered to the organization just a few days ago because unfortunately the owner wasn't able to care for her any longer, so her and her siblings were surrendered. And this little floof over here is Cloud, and Cloud is about 3 months as well. She actually just returned back from foster care because she had a bit of an upper respiratory infection, and so she is now available and back up for adoption starting on Tuesday.
So where can we find, these are both at the Regina Humane Society?
Yes, both of these guys will be located at the shelter Tuesday through Saturday from noon until 6. Both of their adoption fees would be at the $195 mark. And if you live in the city, you'll also be required to license them, so it'll be about $20 for that. So it'll be at $215 total. But that includes their spay, tattoo, and microchip, complimentary vet exam, and their vaccinations.
Truly priceless.
Yes,
right?
1,000%.
Now we do have some sponsors that we have to thank. We have to thank our hourly sponsor, Wheaton Kia. I believe I saw Wheaton Kia signs elsewhere, maybe by the phones as well. Thank you, of course, to Access Communications, GV Audio for the mics. Thank you, Christy Lights, for supplying the effects, the lights that you're seeing right now. Thank you to Coots Courier for delivery of prizes within the city of Regina. Thank you to Sub Express for catering the telethon, always important. And free RHS travel cutlery set with a donation of $100 or more. We want to make sure that we pass that along.
All right, and I want to definitely thank Sub Express, because they've been providing some of our awesome catering for the telethon, and you know what? We can't keep going like this if we don't get fed. But right now, we're going to throw to our phones. The Regina Humane Society volunteers keep dogs' tails wagging and cats purring. The Society's enrichment coordinator is here to tell us more about the shelter's volunteer programs.
Yeah, we'll hear from Candace very, very soon. I'm here with Bill Thorne from RHS. We do need those phones to ring, 306-565-5300. If you don't want to talk to one of these fabulous folks from Wheaton Kia, you can donate online as well. But Bill, you're here to tell us about the outreach programs, which you guys have quite a few.
Yeah, absolutely. When we, someone about the Humane Society, the first thing they're going to talk about is probably adoptions or maybe lost and found. But there's a lot of other things that go on at the Humane Society, and one of the biggest is our outreach programs. And this is where we're out in the community, sort of boots on the ground, helping people to have their pets stay with them.
Yes.
Often in underserved communities in Regina and other places, they need a little bit of help. A little bit of a help up. So we've, this past summer, we set up, I think, 3 different pop-up microchip clinics in North Central in conjunction with the North Central Family Center.
Yep.
And we had some food, and we had some supplies and treats and leashes and that kind of thing. Also, we also had free microchips that we were implanted on the spot. And the look on their faces when we did that was just incredible.
Well, I remember seeing the lineups on social media you guys had.
It really was. And, we're not in the most accessible place right now where we are. So it's tough for these people to sometimes get there. And their pets mean everything to them. Sometimes they're this central part of their life. And those things are among my most favorite things that we do, because you're out there and you're talking to people and you're hearing the stories of their pets, and they're very grateful for the assistance that they get. So that's just one example of some of the things that we're doing, and we're working on new programs that we'll be rolling out too.
Absolutely. And we can go to reginahumanesociety.ca for info on all of those outreach programs. I want to give a shout out to a couple of the donators so far. Who was it? Mary Stein just wanted to give a shout out to all Great Danes. My boyfriend has 2 Great Danes, so Great Danes watching, hello. Get your donations in, the earlier the better for this
Absolutely.
evening.
That's right. And where are we going now? Now we're going to have another video clip where, the Regina Humane Society starts bright and early every morning. And let's watch the Society's animal care technicians hard at work.
Early each morning, the lights go on and the day begins for staff and animals at the Regina Humane Society. There's a lot to do before the public is invited to view adoptable pets at noon. Daily cleaning for an average of 200 puppies, kittens, dogs, cats, and small critters is a huge task, taking several hours each day. Animal care technicians begin by ensuring every animal in the Society's care receives a nutritional breakfast. After the feeding, staff begin the physically demanding work of cleanup. Keeping these temporary living quarters clean and sanitary is key to ensuring the health and safety of staff and animals. Pets receive daily care during their stay at the shelter, including holidays when the shelter is closed to the public. Outfitted in scrubs, smocks, and gloves, animal care technicians spray, scrub, and wipe each kennel in order to ensure sanitary living conditions for the animals in their care. Water dishes are disinfected and refilled. Dirty food dishes are removed. Fresh litter pans are placed in the cat kennels and communal rooms, and the dog kennels are scooped clean. Throughout the cleaning process, staff check each pet's bedding to ensure that it is tidy. Cats and dogs use scent to feel comfortable in their space. Leaving their blankets and beds in place helps to calm and comfort them. Each day, pets are given different toys and enrichment items to play with. This creates a stimulating and variable environment that encourages them to explore, think, and be well, mentally and physically. These seemingly small details provide pets with some of the comforts of home during their stay in the shelter environment. Cleanup and animal care continues throughout the day, including the monitoring of physical and emotional well-being. Many animals enter the Regina Humane Society requiring medical attention. Animal care technicians work with the shelter's veterinary team to monitor ill and injured animals, quickly reporting any concerns to the on-site animal hospital. Working together, staff ensures that all animals stay happy and healthy. Although animal care technicians have many responsibilities, staff make time in their busy day for these forgotten animals. Whether it's cuddling a kitten or walking a dog, staff make sure that animals get exercise, fresh air, and most importantly, love and attention until they're adopted. Many cats and dogs enter the shelter dirty, matted, and showing evidence of neglect. Animal care technicians often see animals with tangled fur matted to their skin, coated with oil, dirt, or feces, and nails so long they have curled. Regina Humane Society staff work to restore lusterless coats to their natural beauty and trim overgrown nails. Grooming keeps these animals comfortable during their stay and gives them the soft human touch they're so eager to receive. The Regina Humane Society staff work tirelessly to care for our community's most vulnerable and defenseless. Every day, these pets wait for love, for someone to appreciate their gifts of devotion and companionship. It's a place where animals are given food, water, and shelter, and for some, it's a place to heal and forget the past. No matter how they arrived at the shelter, all of the animals have one thing in common. Without the Regina Humane Society, they would have no hope of a future. It is with your help the Society is able to meet their many needs and offer them what they need most, a second chance at life and love.
Well, we talked earlier about 3,600 animals came into care last year with the shelter, and that is 200 more than 2022, 21. 22. What is contributing to this?
Really, it's a lot of just post-pandemic stuff. It's a variety of stuff. Everybody asks me that. They're like, is everybody surrendering their pet for the pandemic that they got in the pandemic? And actually, the answer is not really. It's inflation. Everything is costing more. They can't afford to feed their pets anymore. Accessing veterinary care, we know with the veterinary shortage, veterinary care also has gone up because of the pandemic. And it's just a snowball of everything.
And Annette, I want to thank you for explaining that, because I think too many people we judge, right? We think, oh, they gave it out, don't have the time, but it's more than that. So can you discuss a little bit about the intake procedures that you do?
So when an animal like Peach here comes in, so Peach was found stray, come into the shelter, we have an awesome intake team. They come in, we give them a check over, they get vaccinated, dewormed, and just a check over. If there's any concerns, we send them off to our vet team to have a look at and just make sure that they've found their soft place to land temporarily till we can find them their home.
Well, it looks like Chris is loving Peaches.
Peach is just a sweetheart. We made friends outside earlier when I first arrived, and it's just a great demeanor. I also want to take the opportunity to remind you just the importance of things like pet licenses, tattoos, microchips. As you said, Peach was a stray. And somebody out there, probably really misses Peach. I know I would if I lost her.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great girl.
She has been a very great girl, and she has been very entertaining for us here this evening as well. Another sad thing was that, I shouldn't say sad thing, another great thing that the RHS does is there were 412 pets that were returned to their families last year. So that's why those things like licenses and microchips and that sort of thing are so important. If someone loses their pet,
right.
What should they do?
Yeah. Well, right now we are going to throw to the pet set. Animal Protection Services investigated more than 800 suspected cases of cruelty and neglect last year. So let's learn more from Lee.
Yes, joining me is Officer Isaac, Animal Protections Officer, and a brief setup there. I hate to talk about it, but it has to be talked about, is sometimes the neglect, cruelty that we've seen, or more than 800 that you received, I think is what Lisa said. So maybe just, with 817, what role does the community play in your mind to help when something like this
They
happens?
play a huge part. I mean, we're not always there to see it, right? There are eyes and ears out. So when they see, it's okay, baby. When they see things like cruelty and neglect happening, for them to call it in and get videos and get pictures is very crucial to help our investigations, for sure.
Can people remain anonymous when they do something like that?
For
too?
sure, yeah, they can. It definitely does hinder the investigation a little bit, though. You know, we can't follow up with them. We don't know necessarily who's calling, so we might not get pictures or videos or stuff like that. So it definitely could hinder investigation, but they're definitely welcome to if they feel that that would be easier for them.
So who do you work with in these investigations?
We work with lots of different people. We work with Regina Police, we work with Fire Department, we work with the EMS, we work with Social Services, we work with the Sheriff's Department, and I'm sure many more, as well as obviously our staff at the RHS.
And how do donations, say tonight, help your team?
So we actually do not receive any funding to enforce the Animal Protection Act. So it's very crucial when people donate. It does help us fund those investigations. It's very crucial for sure.
It's very important for you to donate for many reasons, and this is definitely one of them. Let's go down to the phones and see if we have any pledges or challenges that are going on. Huh?
Yeah, we need those phones to ring 306-565-5300. It's Cassidy, Bill, and we're welcoming Rory.
He is
Rory
back.
Allen.
He is back. We
I'm
missed him
back.
last year. I don't know how many of these you've done. It's like 1,000,002, I think.
I think it's 20.
Is it 20?
Yeah.
Well, close enough.
I started when I was 12, ladies and gentlemen. 12.
No, we're really, really happy to have you back. We
thanks,
missed you
guys.
last year when you
Appreciate
were here, and it's going to be a great night because you are here. We'd like to welcome our Hour 2 sponsors, Urban Cellars, Regina's largest liquor store. And we'll have some people from there up on our phones here in a second, so make sure you give them a call. They want to talk to you tonight.
Yes, and there are incentives to donate the cutlery, the wireless charger, and of course just helping save animals. So we need those phones to ring 306-565-5300.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Well, the technology's changed over the years since we've been doing this from the beginning.
It has.
But the sentiment's the same. We're here for the animals, and we just really appreciate Regina and the surrounding area and just your hearts for just contributing every year.
Yeah,
every single year.
I think it was mentioned earlier that we had 3,606 animals come through the Humane Society last year, which was a couple hundred more than we had the year before. So we're kind of going the wrong way, but it does mean that your donations tonight are going to be that much more important than ever.
Yeah, and your donations are tax deductible, which we're all thinking of because it is tax season, but every dollar counts. Our latest total is just over $19,000, so we need that to go up, and again, lots of ways to donate. And maybe you can't. Give a share on social media. If you're watching, post a picture of one of these cute little kitties or puppies. Use the hashtag RHS Telethon. Or on Facebook, we've got that live puppy cam with little Hope over there. Just share that, and maybe your friends and family will tune in and donate.
I'm going to have to get a puppy cam at home.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'm thinking,
awesome.
yeah, we should be selling some of those. I
Yeah,
think we
yeah.
can make some good money on there for
Absolutely.
sure.
And now we're going to hear a story. I follow this cat's foster mom on Instagram, so I am very up to date with Blake and Blake's really incredible story. It was a long journey for Blake, but a really, really happy ending.
On a frigid December day, a passerby noticed something on the side of a blustery rural highway. No one would believe that a cat could survive the minus 51-degree wind chill. Blake was frozen to the ground and struggling to survive. His rescuer gently freed him and rushed him to the warmth of the Regina Humane Society. Shelter staff gradually warmed his cold, shivering frame. His frozen ears began to thaw, causing the dangerously thin cat to shake his head in excruciating pain. Shelter veterinarians confirmed the diagnosis of severe frostbite. Surgery was necessary to remove the damaged and dying tissue from his ears caused by the devastating cold. Staff were hopeful that his tail could be saved, but only time would tell. Although surgery was required, the fragile cat was in no condition to undergo treatment. He was suffering from a terrible upper respiratory infection. Blake was congested, sneezing, and lethargic. He needed more time, and it was no surprise this fighter, who made it this far, was not going to give up. Blake was matched with an experienced Regina Humane Society foster family. The resilient cat required careful monitoring until he was healthy enough for surgery. Blake spent his early days in foster care, resting and soaking up love from his temporary family. When Blake's health improved, it was time for the Regina Humane Society veterinary team to perform the prescribed surgery. In addition to removing the dying tissue from Blake's ears, a portion of his tail required amputation. Following the successful procedure, Blake returned to his foster family to heal.
Good job.
Blake thrived in foster care. His smart and spirited personality shone. He spent time playing, enjoying warm naps, and learning new tricks, jumping, shaking a paw, and sitting on command, to name a few. Now fully recovered from the difficult combination of illness and surgery, Blake was ready to settle into a permanent home. Almost 2 months after arriving at the Regina Humane Society, Blake became the newest member of a caring family. So Blake packed up his bags and headed to warmer weather, traveling all the way to Arizona. His loving parents were at their vacation home when they made the decision to welcome Blake into their hearts and home. Today, this affectionate cat is comfortable in his new home and enjoying the best life has to offer. Blake's story could have ended tragically in the cold. Instead, he now shares friendship, love, and warmth with his devoted family. Make your donation now to help the Regina Humane Society give even more animals a second chance at life.
And now joining us live from Arizona through Zoom are those owners that took Blake in wonderfully. Don and Leanne Black join us live. And I guess Don and Leanne, heartfelt video for sure. There we see Blake. How has Blake been doing in his new home in Arizona? I'm sure loving the sun.
Well, first of all, a little correction. I think he owns us. We don't own him. Yes. As a result, he's thriving, doing very well. Leanne's been able to increase his body weight about 40% in a very short period of time. And he's doing wonderfully.
He is. He's a very happy boy. And our other two kitties love him too. So it's been a welcome addition to our family.
Well, it's good that they welcomed him in for sure. Any fun stories since he's come along that you can share?
Well, it's like having a newborn in the house and a teenager combined. First of all, he gets up anywhere between 4 o'clock in the morning and 5 in the morning and stays up all night patrolling because he and his other brother, Zaki, think it's their job to be in charge of protecting the family.
What would you say has been, I guess, the most rewarding thing for adopting Blake?
Well, I think anytime you can rescue a pet or an animal that's been, especially in his situation that came from such a rough start, there's nothing that warms your heart like that. So all of our pets have been rescues. He probably with the saddest story. So he makes us happy every day just by looking at him, how happy he is now and how he's filling out. And hopefully his rough start is just a very distant memory for him now.
And of course, donations like tonight's, Blake is just an example of that can be helped with this fundraiser. 565-5300 is the number to call, or reginahumanesociety.ca. Don, Leanne, thank you for joining us and sharing your story. And Don, go Sun Devils.
Exactly. Although they're out of the March Madness already.
Yeah, it happens for sure. Well, last year, more than 2,000 animals found homes thanks to the Regina Humane Society. It's time to meet 3 animals that are looking for their perfect match.
Yes, we are back with 2 super cute adoptable pets. One, if you want to have a matching cat with me, you would adopt this kitty and Spot here. But 306-565-5300. We need those phones to ring. Get the donations in. Lots of challenges coming in as well, which we love to see. But we love to see little kitties, don't we, Chris?
We sure do.
We sure do.
And we like the voices that come with seeing little kitties and puppies as well. Absolutely. We want to remind you that the animals that you're seeing on the show this evening will be available on Tuesday at noon for adoption, including Spot. Spot's really excited about the idea of coming to a new home.
Holly, what is he saying right now?
Well, he's trying to express just how excited he is about the telethon tonight and how excited he is to find his home. He actually was brought into us as a surrender, unfortunately, because he was a little too much dog for somebody, and he's looking for someone who is a little too much person. He's looking for someone who matches his energy. He's a really sweet boy. He just has he's very opinionated right now.
Well, and he just wants to make friends, which this cat, I think, is very content in your lap, Candace.
He's a little upset about the barking.
Oh, that's okay. Very unlike my cat. That looks like my cat, but acts very different.
Oh, Spot.
You can't tell, but he has only 3 legs. And I talked to him before the show, and he said that he wanted to challenge all 3-legged pet owners to call in.
Sounds like a plan that we can do that more than once, I think.
Yes.
In the meantime, let's go over to the pet set. The Regina Humane Society knows that more lives can be saved by working together. Here's how one veterinary clinic is extending a helping hand.
Well, we are loving Spot. He should just come on over here. We have a lot of his hair on set already, so just bring the dog. I'd like to welcome Lisa Cook, Executive Director, and beside her is Dr. Cassandra Broussard from the Careport Animal Hospital. And we know that veterinaries do so much work for us. So to you, Lisa, first, just why is it important for the Regina Humane Society to partner with the local veterinaries to offer these donated services?
Well, our veterinarians at the Regina Humane Society are very busy. We do spay-neuter surgeries and other special procedures, but really the number of animals that we receive at the shelter far exceeds our capacity. And our veterinary partners in the community that donate services like spay-neuter, dentals, really allow us to extend our life-saving efforts even further.
And what does that support mean to you guys? I mean, is there more?
It's time that we don't have, and certainly being able to donate that time helps us to help even more animals than we could on our own. And so we are so grateful to people at our veterinary partners who give animals like Dumpling here surgeries like spay neuter that they need to be able to go home.
Yeah. Well, and to you, Dr. Broussard, thank you so much. So can you briefly describe the services your clinic donates?
Yeah, so we try at Careport to do about 10 spays and neuters for the Humane Society every month. Okay. We get to also do lots of examinations for them on newly adopted animals, which is a really nice way for us to build new relationships and help with the transitional period of animals joining new homes and kind of help guide that period, because it can be challenging, but it's also really rewarding to see how happy people are with these new pets.
Yeah, I don't know if I really need to ask why you do this, but is there any more reason? I mean, you just talked about the care that you can give them in a second chance.
I mean, it's rewarding on its own, but it's really important for us to be able to offer those spay-neuter opportunities because it's the best way we can do to help with the population control, to really limit the homeless animals out there and the unexpected litters. So really trying to do our service for the community as well that way.
Yeah, and I really know there's a shortage of veterinaries all across Canada, so we're very thankful, and I'm sure the Humane Society is so thankful to have you. So thank you. Yeah. All right, well, we were going to go to the Regina Humane Society. We have a video clip. The Society provides safe Places program is there for pets and people in crisis. So let's learn more about that program.
Pets are valued members of the family and not immune to violence in the home. They may be targeted by an abusive partner or used as a means to exert power and maintain control in a domestic situation. Emergency housing is often unable to accommodate animals, and many victims delay leaving an abusive situation, fearing what might happen to their pet. Safe Places offers support to domestic violence victims and accepts any family pet at any hour of the day, when a victim is leaving or has already left the home. Safe Places foster families, ensure pets have temporary shelter as well. They provide loving, safe, and caring homes for pets until family members are able to transition into a non-abusive environment. In a difficult time, the Regina Humane Society Safe Places program is there for pets and people in crisis.
I'm Annette Lorenz, and I'm the manager of Pathway Planning at the Regina Humane Society. Pathway Planning is a really big umbrella. Basically, I'm concerned about animals coming into the shelter and animals leaving the shelter. Dice is a sweet dog that was surrendered to us because unfortunately his owners were unable to afford to care for him and his veterinary needs. He had a mass that needed to be removed, so he came into our care. Once Dice was in our care, Dice was very shut down and scared and overwhelmed by life in a shelter. To see the progress he made with his foster family in their home has been remarkable. He went from not wanting to eat, not wanting to lift his head up off his bed in shelter, to being a much more confident and assured dog with his foster family. When resources become limited, sometimes we have to make choices. Sometimes we have to pick and choose and decide, between who gets what today for enrichment, or, with medical cases, how much can be done. So with the donations that we get today through Telethon and every day of the year are so valuable to everything that we do at the shelter. I would love to thank each and every one of our foster families. The success rate for adoption following foster is amazing. They are true angels walking among us for us at the shelter and for the animals they take into their care.
Welcome back. Let's get that new total to see where we are at right now.
Like seeing 5 digits, $27,936.
Not bad, but we must raise $75,000 for these animals in the next 3 hours, so it's very important. Visa, MasterCard accepted. If you give us a call right now, make your pledge, 306-565-5300, or you can visit reginahumanesociety.ca. You can donate online as well.
We want to thank the sponsor of the hour, which is Urban Cellars, Regina's largest liquor store. Thank you to Access Communications, to GV Audio for the microphones, to Christie Lights for supplying the effects lighting, Coots Courier for delivery of the incentive prizes within the city of Regina, and to Sub Express for catering the telethon as well.
Yeah, and just a reminder that donations are tax deductible, and you receive a free RHS travel cutlery set with donations of $100 or more, and a wireless phone charger for donations of $250 or more. All of these donations go to help the almost 4,000 animals that arrived at the shelter last year and every year at the Regina Humane Society. 2,000 of those animals are finding homes as we speak throughout this year, and we hope you make your pledge now and show the animals that you really care.
Now, social media is an important part of the Regina Humane Society's life-saving strategy. It, of course, helps the shelter connect with people and bring families together. So let's go check that out with the phones with Lisa, Bill, and another familiar face.
You know that guy from social media, Rory Allen. All right. Social media is important. Thank you, Lee. And to you, what forms are you guys using, and what are you doing with it?
Well, the rise in social media has been a game changer for us in our ability to connect with people, communicate with people across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'm not sure about TikTok, but across the first three, we have about 64,000 followers. So it allows us to reach an awful lot of people very quickly. And, as someone I think mentioned earlier, even if you can't adopt, when we have our adoption events or something like that, you can share those posts, and that does help. And there's been several instances where, we've had an animal that just wasn't going home for whatever reason, and we ask people, tell this story, show the story, share the post, and it's amazing the number of times that animal finds a home within a couple of days, because it gets to that one person or that one family that is right for that pet. So, I can't underscore enough how even if you can't donate tonight, share the posts about the telethon so people that can learn about it, more of them. It really makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and we are at the phones, so we're loving this area, but we've got a couple donations, and one includes you. So we've got Penny Edwards, $500, Mark Wood at $1,000 in memory of Janice Wood, and Dennis Well, $1,000. So amazing. But this one's good. This one is Nelson and Judy Bird have donated some funds, and what they said is Sing Hound Dog for Geronimo. What do you think?
You, not
Well,
me.
might slap that in a few minutes. Yeah,
Okay.
I was hoping Bill would be doing it actually, but really,
I'm strictly punk.
We really want these phones to start ringing back here. 565-5300.
All right, well, we're going to go to the pet set because there are numerous ways to show the animals at the Regina Humane Society that you care. So let's go and hear more how they can help you.
Yeah, it's Cassidy, Raven, Amanda, and Crush, the tiniest little kitties that we have on set, available for adoption very, very soon. Like, look at Raven, how sweet. But Amanda, like they said, there are a lot of ways to get involved. So what types of sponsorship opportunities are there with the Humane Society?
Well, we have lots of opportunities. Our first one is the monthly adoption sponsorship, which is a program that allows for the sponsorship of our Adoptable Animals webpage. That averages about 50,000 views a month. And so all the funds raised are used to support the homeless, abused, and neglected animals that we see every day at the shelter. So in 2022, there was 2,085 animals who found new homes thanks to our adoption services and the members of the community. We also have the Caring Hands Volunteer Program, which is a vital animal enrichment and community engagement program. It engages our volunteers with the animals by exercising, grooming, and giving them lots of love and attention, which vastly improves the quality of life for the shelter pets as they await their adoption. The third one is a foster care program, and it's a group of trained volunteers who open their homes and hearts to provide the short-term care for our pets, recovering from injury, and just pets in need and needing extra socialization and all of that. Kitty Readers program is it's a literacy program that pairs a 7 to 12-year-old with feline reading partners, so children can practice their reading skills while reading to the shelter cats and kittens. So this program builds the reader's confidence and while also providing important socialization for our homeless cats.
Yeah, I love that. And all of those programs do so much for the animals, but for us as well, for those getting involved. So anyone that is involved, thank you so much. ReginaHumaneSociety.ca for more details on those programs. Now we're going to hear from Buddy. Now, Buddy, he had a tough start, very thin start, painful skin infection when he came to the Regina Humane Society. But thanks to the love, the care, and your donations, today he is a playful dog, loving his life with his new family.
It took quite a while to say that we were ready for another animal in our lives. I've watched the Humane Society website.
I was hooked right just by looking at the picture. There was just something about him.
There was something about those eyes that just got me.
That was it. We were sold.
Yeah.
So there is to it. Even though he had no hair.
Yeah. He was full of mats, and they had to shave him. And then I think he went into foster for a little bit.
2 months. Everything that the Humane Society does is absolutely fantastic. And when we saw him,
he's awesome.
He should be part of this family. He got into the backyard and it was like, I have freedom. I have a place to be.
A safe home. Pretty casual in the home. Typical dog, out for a walk, loves to sniff everything. Very energetic in the backyard, loves to play soccer. So he has experience on a boat once and a life jacket and loved it.
Laying on the floor, on the bed, doesn't really matter to him. Everything is his place. The Humane Society, in my opinion, is probably one of the most important organizations that we should have around. Their care and dedication to animals and the staff that they have are top-notch. I mean, absolutely fantastic. On a daily basis, the amount of love, attention, dedication to the animals, and to be able to see the conditions that they come in when they do arrive, and be able to get them through that, and just show the love and attention for those animals to realize, you know what, they're not forgotten. When it comes down to it, all my donations, that's where they go. Humane Society. I can't afford much, but hey, it goes there.
Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
Honestly, when it came down to it, I was ready for a new animal, a new companion in the house, someone to go outside with and get myself a little bit of exercise as well as be able to give some love to another dog.
Our hearts were ready for him. It was the timing. It was almost like the eyes were saying, "Can I love you, Mom?" I couldn't love him more.
Well, we're back here with two adoptable pets. We have Holly here, and this is Raven and Kiwi. And are they ever cute?
They're so cute, and Raven is just falling asleep. This little brother-sister duo came into us as a surrender, and apparently very tuckered out by tonight. Lots of action tonight, and this little one is out for the count.
So when can they be adopted, actually?
Well, they are actually available for adoption starting Tuesday at noon. They'll be $195, and they'll be good to go home the day they're adopted.
Everything's included in that $195. And how old are they?
They're about 8 weeks old, so they still have lots of growing yet to do, and I think that's probably why we're a little bit tired out, because of all the growing we have going on.
That's awesome. Now that's cute.
Yeah, they've been kind of droopy-eyed here for a while tonight. But as Rory said, when you do adopt from the Regina Humane Society, it does include their spay and neuter surgery, vaccinations, tattoo, microchip, and even a post-adoption veterinary exam is included in your adoption fee. So it's very important. Also, don't forget, we are open at the shelter Tuesday to Sunday for adoptions, but you can also visit our satellite locations where we do an awful lot of adoptions through, and you can adopt from there, take the pet home that day, and on the days that they are open, and that includes Cathedral Pet Shop, Halo Pets, Pat's Pets, Pet Depot, Petland, PetSmart, and Pet Value as well.
That's a lot of pets.
It is a lot of pets. Don't forget, we do need your donations, 306-565-5300. And right now, the Regina Humane Society relies on, and I can tell you how important they are, is our wonderful army of volunteers help out every day at the Humane Society, each and every day. And let's meet this year's Volunteer of the Year.
We are here now to present our Volunteer of the Year Award. So I would like to present the very lovely Cassie. Cassie's been volunteering with us for almost 5 years now. She started as a foster parent and quickly became a very well-known person around the shelter and a good friend to many of us. And she's volunteered in multiple different types of capacity. What have you all done with us, Cassie?
Well, yeah, I started out as a foster parent, and then I've taken a lot of the adoption photos for animals around the shelter, made a few different videos for the social media platforms. Sometimes I help with different office work or really wherever I can, making toys for the animals, and yeah.
So I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you have done for us and present you with your beautiful Volunteer of the Year Award. I wish I could give one of these to everybody.
Very nice. Well, I have one more question here. What would you tell somebody that was thinking about volunteering with RHS?
I'd say go for it. There's so many different opportunities and areas to volunteer. My heart is definitely in being a foster parent. They probably give equal to or even more than I give to them. So yeah, go for it.
Bless your heart for doing it too.
Thank you. And I think sometimes, you know what, we don't know how to volunteer, Cassie. Like, we don't know what can we do or how do we get started. So to you, Candace, how can people get involved? How can they volunteer?
Absolutely. There's so many different things you can do. If you pop onto our website under the How to Help tab, there is a full information. There's FAQ about what our different volunteer programs are. And I mean, I say this all the time. Once we move into the new shelter, things are going to change so much and things are going to expand. And we're hoping to engage volunteers even more than we already are.
And Cassie, what's the best part?
The best part, I think being able to be a short part of their long story, of the animals' long story, and yeah.
A short but important part, and a crucial part.
Yeah.
We're going to send you off to another video clip here. The Regina Humane Society offers a variety of training classes for families and their dogs. Here's the Society's training coordinator in action.
We're back once again with Emily Garland, who is the training coordinator at the Regina Humane Society, and she's also got with her Jinx, and they're here to demonstrate a couple of things that you might want to know as a dog owner and talk a little bit about some of the things that we do in our training classes. We have a wide array of them, everything from beginner classes, puppies, right up to agility and other things.
Perfect. So one of the things that often gets missed in training is the handler's piece to kind of protect the dog from situations that aren't necessarily ideal. So whether that's people coming to grab at your dog, or often loose dogs that you don't know if they are friendly or not. We need ways to kind of quickly get in there and help kind of defend and protect our dog. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can kind of get started on this and practice. If you're practicing, practice a lot without the emergency situation, okay? If firefighters go to fight, hopefully they've fought several practice fires before the real one at my house. So Bill's going to be my naughty person, even though he's not. But if I'm coming close to a person and I don't want my dog to interact or have that person interact with my dog, one of the things I'm going to do is quickly move myself in front, keep my leash short, and simply reward my dog behind me, okay? Makes it perfectly clear to the person ahead of me that I do not want my dog interacting at this particular moment. Especially for oncoming dogs, most of the time they are going to stop for your body if you block the head of your personal dog. Now, your dog might not calmly hang out behind you, so you can also do this placing your back to the other person or oncoming vehicle, so, or whatever it is, which would simply look like this, okay? Where you're keeping your dog in front of you as much as possible, feeding them a slew of treats if you have some, but keeping your back to whatever the problem happens to be, okay? Whichever way you decide to go, play it lots so your dog knows it's just another fun game to play with you versus a problematic situation.
Awesome. And one thing I always love about Emily and her dogs is they're always so focused on her. Very well trained is something that we could all and should be shooting for with our own pets. If you'd like more information about the Regina training program, you can go to our website and get all the information on the different classes there, reginahumanesociety.ca.
This is honestly one of my favorite days of the year, nights of the year. It's the only time I go on TV. But we're hanging out all together for such an incredible cause. And it's just one for all for one. And the more of us that can help Humane Society, the better.
It's probably one of your favorite segments of the telethon too, because it's an opportunity for me to talk about the support that we get from local media, including Ralco Radio and CTV, also Global Television, Pure Country, and the Leader Post, which recently started running a feature every Wednesday that features 15 of our adoptable pets as well. And you know, there's times I know I've been on CTV. We're on there twice a week, and we'd get back to the office, and there'd be people waiting to see the animal that we had on, particularly the news at noon on Thursdays. So it really does have a huge impact, and I want to thank CTV, Ralco, all of our media partners for all the attention they give our animals. They promote the promotions we have, the adoption events that help animals go home, and we really couldn't do it without you, and it really truly does make a difference. So thank you to you and the other media partners that might be watching tonight as well.
Now it's our turn because I notice 1, 2, I see 3 people not on the phones. We need to get these phones ringing. 565-5300 is the number to call.
Yeah, we've got Urban Sellers on the phone now as well. Thank you all so much for volunteering your time. And I think it's time for a new total.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Hey guys, well, we do have a new total, and let's have a look. Drum roll, please, and there it is.
33,728. We are almost halfway to that $75,000 goal.
That's awesome. We can go higher too if we like.
We can, and someone is here to help us out, and this is a very special lady to the Regina Humane Society, a volunteer for, I think, decades. She has walked so many dogs. I think that if she walks through Regina, I'm sure there are many four-legged friends that come out to greet her because she's brighten their day so much, and she's here to brighten our day today. She's here to present a check.
Okay, I would like to start off by thanking all of my friends and family for supporting me and collecting their donations for the telethon. It was overwhelming this year. I can't show my appreciation enough, but all the dogs, cats, birds, and bunnies also say thank you, and they are totally appreciative of everything your money is going to do for them. I'd like to begin with our local businesses. Colin O'Brien Man Shop on Hamilton Street, $150. Bonnie's, of course, in her new location at the Southland Mall, $100. Zoe Shoe Shop on Broad Street, and I'd just like to mention Yogi Bear, her Employee of the Month, for $100. Barry Eisenzimmer Golf Instruction. He tells me he's good at it, but I don't know, $100. My traveling buddies, Heidi Fisher-Phillips, $25. Linda Scotius, $20. Arlene McAllister, $20. Sue Looning, in memory of Carl. They didn't have a dog, but all dogs loved Carl, $50. My family, Jocelyn, Kira, Julia, Ryan LeBlond, $60. Kristen, Brett, Honora, Clarissa LeBlond, $100. Joey Eisenzimmer, $30. And my very dear friends, Louise Hoffert, in memory of Dixie, $50. Jerry Roos, in remember of Bernie and Duchess, $125. Cindy McFadden, family and Leo the Rescue, $40. Peggy Adamak, Doug Downey, $100. Jim Costel and Juno the Rescue Cat, $20. Patty Clem, $50. Lorelei Siltzer, $25. Debbie Ferguson, $100. Darlene Gurgley, my partner in crime, $100. And to my old working friends at Bonnie's, of course, Bev Townsend, $20. Kay Bog Savage, $80. Bonnie Schweitzer, $100. Judy Eisenzimmer, $135. That's me. And are you ready for a grand total?
We're ready. I'm ready
Hang
to be
on your
revealed.
horses.
Ready.
This is going to blow you away.
All right. Are we ready?
Turn it over. 1,000.
Woo!
1,700 bucks.
I feel like Vanna.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate everything you do for me, too, and I love the dogs and cats and bunnies and whatever else you guys have there, birds.
We love you too, Judy, and we thank you so much for this incredible donation and all the work you did to collect it and all the work that you do for the animals at the shelter.
Absolutely. And with that, let's check out a video clip about the lost and found and the work that's done here at RHS.
One of the busiest areas at the Regina Humane Society is the Lost and Found Department. As Regina's only open admission shelter and the city's municipal impound facility, the Society's doors are always open to any animal in need, regardless of breed, age, temperament, or medical condition. Lost and Found staff register incoming animals in the Society's database, about 4,200 every year. Whether they are surrendered by their owners, stray, or at the shelter as the result of an animal cruelty investigation. When a lost or stray animal first arrives, Regina Humane Society staff immediately check for identification. This could be a pet license, tattoo, microchip, or ID tag. With this valuable information, staff can contact a missing pet's owner and quickly reunite them with their family. Unfortunately, a high percentage of stray animals entering the shelter do not have any type of permanent identification. City of Regina bylaws state that all dogs and cats in Regina must be licensed. By law, the Regina Humane Society is required to hold a stray animal with no identification for 72 hours, or 10 days if they appear purebred or have any form of identification. This holding period allows time for owners to search for and claim their lost pets. Animals not claimed after the legal holding period become the property of the Regina Humane Society. While many animals arrive as stray, others are surrendered into the care of the shelter. Giving up an animal is never easy, for the owner or for the pet. The Society's Lost and Found staff supports families through the surrender process by explaining the procedure and collecting vital information about the animal. After checking for identification or going through the surrender procedure, Lost and Found staff begin processing the animal. A comprehensive description of the animal is recorded, including the animal's breed, age, sex, spay or neuter status, and other distinguishing features. All animals are vaccinated against disease and assessed for health problems like ear mites, frostbite, or other noticeable injuries and ailments. If required, animals are further examined by the Regina Humane Society Veterinary Department. A photograph of the pet is taken and included in the animal's file. To help distraught owners locate their missing four-legged family members, the Regina Humane Society offers online lost and found pet reporting. A photo and physical description are uploaded to the Society's online catalog of stray pets at reginahumanesociety.ca. After the process is complete, staff begin the arduous task of checking pets against lost reports. Reuniting lost animals with their families takes compassion, determination, and attention to detail. Although Regina Humane Society staff work hard to help families search for missing pets, owners are strongly encouraged to frequently visit the shelter in person to look for their pet. Thanks to the dedicated staff of the Regina Humane Society Lost and Found Department, over 800 lost pets are reunited with their families each year. Ensuring your pet has up-to-date identification, including a pet license, tattoo, microchip, and ID tag, is the best way to increase the chances of a happy reunion.
Well, it is amazing, the dedicated staff at the Regina Humane Society, and Dr. Catherine Ball now joins us. She is the Director of Veterinary Care, and we're going to talk about the subsidized spay-neuter program. Just tell us a little bit about it.
So our subsidized spay and neuter program gives clients with limited means an opportunity to have their pets sterilized, and qualification for the program is based on household income. And people can either qualify for fully subsidized spay or neuter surgery for their cats and dogs, or they may qualify for partially subsidized service, so they get the services at a substantial discount.
Okay. And to anyone, why is this so important?
This is so important because really we all know why it's important to spay and neuter pets to prevent overpopulation. But the truth is that veterinary care is expensive, and it is out of the reach of some households. Those people still love their pets very, very much, and they deserve to have the opportunity to have their pets spayed and neutered.
Yeah. So how many spay-neutered, the subsidized program, did you do last year?
We provided 385 surgeries last year through our subsidy spay and neuter program.
And is that up, down from previous?
It is in line with usual.
Okay.
We usually end up in that neighborhood.
So if people are listening and they need this sort of program, where do they apply?
So their best bet, they can look on our website for the information as well as an application form, and they can bring the form itself to the shelter. They should be advised that, like all popular programs, there is a high demand, and so wait times can be long, but we are working through and working hard to get to everybody as quickly as we can.
All right. Well, Dr. Ball, thank you for coming out. And to Cloud, thank you for being a great kitty there, not losing your mind over there. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go to a video clip. The Regina Humane Society is a safety net for animals in our community. So let's hear from one staff member about how they provide the best possible care for every animal.
I'm Megan Simonson. I'm the Supervisor of Animal Care with the Regina Humane Society. In my position, I'm responsible for overseeing the animal care in the shelter, so making sure that my team is taking care of the animals. They have food, they're watered, they have clean kennels, all that sort of stuff. But there's so many moving parts to making sure that the shelter runs efficiently, and a huge part of the challenges that we see is recently the number of animals that are coming into the shelter. We've had days where, there's 30 animals that come into the shelter. And I know that maybe to some people it doesn't sound like a lot, but think about one cat, then think about 2 and 3. Where are you going to put all these cats? How are we going to make sure that everyone is housed appropriately and is in an area where we're limiting the spread of disease, and that, we have to look at all these animals when they come in. They all need to be vaccinated. They all need to be looked over to make sure that there's no health concerns. And we are lucky to have a veterinary team that is super efficient, and they do great work and making sure that we get as many animals spayed and neutered every year as possible. But it is alarming, the amount of animals that we've seen coming through the doors in recent years. But how lucky are they that the Regina Humane Society exists and that we won't turn them away. I don't think that would be possible at all without the help of our supporters. And I want everyone out there to know that when you give to the Humane Society, these stories that you hear are your stories too, because they're not possible without you.
Yeah, some incredible stories tonight, and I'm hoping Percy here has a fabulous end of story Coming up, Percy is still a young kitty looking for a forever home, missing one leg, but that does not bother Percy at all. So to support animals like Percy, or maybe to adopt Percy come Tuesday, 306-565-5300. See, missing a leg doesn't matter. She's jumping.
Yeah, that bit of a pledge, a donation. Blaine Merceno, $150, is challenging friends and families, coworkers, or farm business consultants to donate whatever they can. So if you are in that business, we need to hear from you.
Absolutely, and a reminder that you can call to make those to meet those challenges at 565-5300. You can go to reginahumanesociety.ca, and of course you can scan that QR code as well if you're looking to make your donation this evening.
The phones are a little quiet,
Yeah, they
so
are quiet.
maybe get these guys busy now that they have Percy with them on the phones. All the more reason to call.
Absolutely, and it looks like we have the man, the myth, the legend that's about to sing us a song here this evening.
Bill Thorne?
Bill Thorne, yes, absolutely.
The man, the
Believe
myth,
me, no one wants that. Nobody.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're a little nervous. Need a little back
I'm
up,
a little,
maybe?
yeah.
Okay.
Engelbert Humperdinck maybe from Bill tonight.
I know a couple of his songs,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
believe it or not.
Wow.
Well, again, it's a real treat this year because we did miss Roy last year. He wasn't able to attend, and it just wasn't the same. So for the first time in 2 years, we have Mr. Rory Allen.
God bless you. Well, this song actually is a song that it's from 1956, done by Elvis, of course. That's why I got the sideburns. And it's, I think the words speak for itself. It's his biggest gold record for 56.
All right, have at it. Let's go.
All right, here we go. No, that's not the one. I don't want that one. Let's do the other one. Little Don't Be Cruel in the house. Crank it. Well, you know I can be fine sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, well, at least please telephone. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Baby, if I made you mad, or something I might have said, please let's forget the past. The future looks right ahead. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love. Baby, it's to you I'm thinking of. Don't stop thinking of me. Don't make me feel this way. Come on over here and love me. You know what I want you to say. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby, cross my heart. Let's walk up to the preacher and let us say I do. Then you'll know you'll have me, and I know that I'll have you. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's to you I'm thinking of. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's to you I'm thinking of. Bring those phones, bring in cash if you have to.
Regina Humane Society animal protection officers brought Elvira to the safety of the shelter. She was abandoned and struggling to give birth. The 2-year-old Tabby was taken to the Regina Humane Society's on-site animal hospital, where shelter veterinarians quickly got to work. Elvira successfully delivered her first kitten, but labor became more difficult. One of the kittens was stuck. The Society's veterinary team determined an emergency C-section was necessary. The delivery was challenging, and sadly, one of the kittens did not survive. However, within minutes of the life-saving procedure, Elvira was the proud mama of 2 adorable kittens. With babies too young to be adopted, Elvira needed time to care for her newborn kittens. The family of 3 was placed in foster care. As Elvira adjusted to life as a mother, her kittens, Gumdrop and Jellybean, grew stronger each day. Soon it was time for everyone to return to the shelter for adoption. Elvira watched as her 2 babies were adopted into new homes. Days turned into weeks as Elvira waited for her turn. Staff knew more needed to be done to help this young cat find her forever home. Elvira was transferred to one of the Society's satellite adoption centers, giving her a chance to meet even more families. The Regina Humane Society is thankful to partner with local pet retailers to provide more adoption opportunities and match hundreds of shelter animals with new families every year. As Elvira settled into her temporary home, her story was featured on social media. The Society's community of supporters would also help her find a home. With more exposure in person and online, Elvira was given one last gift, a fully sponsored adoption fee. 3 months after arriving at the shelter, Elvira's wait ended. She was adopted by a loving family who saw past her shy exterior. The Regina Humane Society is a life-saving organization, and it delivered for Elvira. From emergency surgery to adoption, shelter staff and volunteers rallied behind this sweet girl to ensure a happy future. Today, Elvira spends her days basking in the love of a new family, enjoying the same care and affection she once showed her young family. Elvira and her kittens are 3 of many homeless animals given a second chance because of the Regina Humane Society and help from supporters like you who care. Make your call now.
Oh, okay. Well, what a nice story. And, you know, we'd just love to see success stories like that, even more so when they come back and visit us. I want to thank you, Mackenzie, Alex, Gabby, and, of course, Elvira for coming to see us today. Elvira's nice and chill there with the amount of animals that we've had making noise. Maybe she's chill there. But can you tell us, how's Elvira doing these days?
She is a very good cat. You know, since we brought her home, she just walked into her house and she just made herself comfortable. And she's been very chill, you know, the whole time we've had her. And she's very, like, obviously we have a small child. Yeah. And our big concern was just a cat that was going to get along with her. And they get along very well. So that's, honestly, she's the best cat for our family.
That's fantastic. Do you have any funny little stories to share between the 2 of them?
The stuffed animal? Right?
Oh, this is Gabby's stuffed animal. She's probably slept with her. I can't remember who bought her this. So this is, she's been sleeping with her, like we just moved into our new house in January.
Right.
She's probably slept with her every day since then. And then we happened to see Elvira, you know, free on, I think it was Facebook. I'm not too sure. And then, yeah, so it was kind of a big, this was the deal breaker. It was this little teddy here.
We got kind of a little mini Elvira there,
yeah,
right, Gabby?
Exactly.
that is so awesome. We love to see stories like that, and love to see you know, families that are completed and kids that get along wonderful with our animals. Reminder to check us out: Humane Society, ReginaHumaneSociety.ca, 306-565-5300, and we can help more people or more animals like Elvira, and thank more wonderful folks like you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
We want to go back to the main stage right now because we have another total. Let's see where we're at.
Oh, we do have a total. Cassidy, I don't know how you control yourself here. You're just like kissing everything.
Well, I can't really control myself, but we're just reminiscing about all the wild things that have happened over the years. But there's our new total.
37,700. That is an amazing number. All right. Well, we've got some, yeah, that is great. We've got some great little animals, and I believe you have got Apollo here.
I have lovingly started calling him McNickens, mostly because he's a little bit chubby. It was funny, we were giving Piper that lick mat and he was instantly jealous. But he is a really sweet boy. He's purring away and he is available for adoption.
And he's available Tuesday?
He is, yes.
And how do you find him?
So you can come down to the shelter anytime between the hours of 12 and 6 to view him and all the other amazing animals that we have available. But if you want to see an extra cute photo of him, we have one on our website as well as all his information.
All right, we're going to have to interrupt Piper here, who is loving.
Yeah, Holly with Piper here. And hey, if you like snacking, if you like food, Piper is the dog for you. Now, Piper, broken tail, but that will recover. What else do we love about Piper?
Well, Piper is absolutely fantastic. She's super, super friendly. And one thing that's nice about food-motivated dogs is that they're very easy to train. And easy to distract, as you can see. It doesn't take much to distract this young lady. Yeah, so she did come in with a broken tail that did need to be amputated. And she actually is also a vet discharge for skin allergies. So she has a few things that need to be looked after by her new family, but she will make someone a wonderful dog. She is so sweet.
Yeah, very smart, very sweet, very food motivated, like you said, is a really good thing when it comes to dogs and even cats, see?
Yes. All right. And you know, we can't do any of this without donations. We can't do anything with the phones ringing. So let's head over to the phones. Education is critical to the Regina Humane Society's life-saving work, and it can begin early. So let's head over there to hear more about the Society's educational resources. Let's go to the phones.
Let's go to the phones. Let's ring those phones. We've got some pledges coming in. I believe an a cappella.
Well, there's one pledge. Stephanie phoned in and said, for $100 if I do a little bit of GI Blues. So I'll do a little bit at the beginning. They give us a room with the view of the beautiful Rhine. They give us a room with the view of the beautiful Rhine. Give me a mighty old crick in Texas any old time. There we go.
Bill?
That's $100 right there.
My turn.
Yeah.
Enkelborn Humperdinck coming back again there. We were talking about that earlier. One thing we did want to talk about, and I think I mentioned it earlier, where often people aren't aware of some of the different services and programs that happen besides adoptions and lost and found and that kind of thing. And one of them is our education programs. And they were slowed up a little bit through COVID for sure, but they're starting to ramp up again. One of the ones we do offer right now is resource kits for teachers. You know, we don't have a large staff, and, you know, for us to go out to schools and stuff, it's, you know, we can't do it very often, whereas the teachers can get these kits and present them to their classes, and it teaches about, you know, things like pet care and that kind of thing too, but also about empathy, you know, respect and caring for all living things, and that's, you know, very important. We have one that's built off our foster care program where they can learn how to look after animals, and we have book bags, all kinds of different resources that teachers can take into the classroom. And they can book those easily on our website. Just go our programs and services, click education, and you'll see descriptions there of all those kits that people that can get there. And they've done an awful lot for getting the word out to the classrooms and young kids.
Well, that's important.
We're sure need to get these phones going, right? 565-5300. And Bill, if people want to just come to the Humane Society and drop off cash,
they can do that.
They can do that?
Yes, I'll be there for it.
With all the new ways of paying, people forget cash is accepted. So check under the couch cushions at home, bring her down.
There's some in there for sure. Sometimes an animal arrives at the Humane Society needing extra help to recover from injuries. Let's learn more about the Society's Faith Fund.
Yeah, I am here with Lisa, and the Faith Fund is for those animals that come in, need the extra care, and the Humane Society provides a lot of care, but there are some things that you need help with.
That's right. Our services are limited by the capacity that we have in our current facility, and unfortunately we don't have an x-ray machine, and we have many animals that arrive at the shelter with broken bones. They've been hit by cars, or unfortunately maybe have been harmed by a person and requiring x-rays. So the Faith Fund is a fund that was created that our community donates to that helps cover the cost of those extra services that we can't provide at the shelter in order to help the animals on their path to recovery.
Absolutely. So if someone wanted to donate to the Faith Fund tonight, they just be specific about it?
That's right. They can call and say, I would like to donate to the Faith Fund. The Faith Fund is actually named after a collie named Faith that was hit by a car many decades ago, and the people who found her were shocked and surprised that there was no options for her, and so they actually created the Faith Fund, and we've kept it alive all these years ever since.
Unbelievable. Well, thank you to the Humane Society. Thank you for doing that and for having that, and all the other veterinarians that are involved in a process like this, because it's more than just the Humane Society at times.
That's right. We can't do what we do without the help of our community, and that includes our veterinary friends.
Cute. And who do you have there? I know everyone's freaking out. I don't have a cat with me right now. I tried.
Well, I can pass it off.
Okay, there. I have a little kitty. Is this Can't Crush?
Kiwi.
Kiwi. Oh, there. Little Kiwi on the shoulder. So thank you so much, Lisa, for everything that you do. And again, if you want to donate to the Faith Fund, you can find more information at reginahumanesociety.ca. Hear those phones ringing, but they need to ring a little bit more. 306-565-5300. And the Regina Humane Society, they are, like we've heard, a safety net for any animal in our community that needs help. And here's more on that.
For over 50 years, the Regina Humane Society has worked to improve animal welfare through programs and services in sheltering, education, protection, and advocacy. As Regina's only open admission shelter, as well as Regina's municipal impoundment facility, the doors to the shelter are always open to any animal in need, regardless of breed, age, temperament, or medical condition. A legion of compassionate individuals do everything they can to ensure each of the thousands of animals entering the shelter each year are loved, cared for, and given a second chance. With your support, the Society has created innovative programs and services to reduce the numbers of unwanted animals in our community. In 2008, 5,380 animals entered the shelter, the highest in history. By implementing life-saving strategies and despite Regina's growth, incoming pets have decreased approximately 25%, resulting in over 1,000 fewer animals entering the shelter each year. Services like the low-cost spay-neuter program, the on-site veterinary team, and outreach education are working thanks to your support. And the number of animals finding new homes is increasing steadily thanks to programs like pet store adoptions, social media campaigns, and sponsorship. Adoptions are up about 25% since 2008. In addition, Lost and Found Services return on average 800 animals to their grateful families every year. The Regina Humane Society is an organization committed to one common goal: to improve the lives of animals, alleviate their suffering, and elevate their status in society. At times, circumstances are beyond the scope of imagination. All ailments and hurts cannot be cured. Despite their efforts, every animal cannot be saved. But every day they try. Donors just like you consistently open their hearts and offer needed financial resources to save lives. Whether it's the dedicated group of animal protection officers responding to cases of abuse and neglect, or the team of adoption counselors who are the animal's biggest cheerleaders, or veterinary staff who treat ailments and heal broken bones, it's all made possible by loyal supporters in our community. Without them and you, the future for so many animals would be much different. Help the animals who cannot speak for themselves and make your donation to the Regina Humane Society today.
All right, well, I'm still laughing at Cassidy, who's like on Pet Set, and she's like, bring me a cat, bring me a cat. Yeah, she's looking for a cat.
Must have a cat.
Must have. So I have a big donation because we're at the phones, and I want to just, the Majestics Car Club, $600, and I think are challenging all car clubs in the area. But Aaron Enns, I want to thank you personally for your $1,000 donation.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Nice, hey?
Well, we're into our last hour, so those donations are incredibly important to help us get to our goal of $75,000. So thank you to those people that have donated so far, and thank you to those that are about to. We do want to welcome our hourly sponsor for Hour 3, Cowtown, who has been a longtime friend of the Humane Society and the Telethon as well.
And the only place to buy my dog food.
There you go.
For my sheltered dog.
Perfect.
Absolutely. We want to remind you, too, there are some incentives this evening. If you pledge $100 or more, you will get this travel cutlery set. It's got a spoon, a straw, all kinds of different things.
Environmentally friendly, too.
Environmentally friendly, as Bill said. And if you get to $250 or more, you will get that travel set as well as this wireless charger. And, of course, the warm fuzzies of helping our furry friends here this evening.
Absolutely. And if you've forgotten the computer in your pocket actually has a phone, you can call 306-565-5300, or you can go on our website, reginahumanesociety.ca, and make a donation online as well.
And you know what I love about a lot of this stuff is just there's always a story somewhere that resonates with you. You know, there's a cat behind us, Percy, with, with three legs.
Yep.
And
just lying there.
Just having
which I can't believe, just taking it all in.
Yep.
Okay. Regina Humane Society staff and animals rely on foster families to open their homes and hearts to animals in need. Let's learn more about this life-saving program.
Yes, let's learn a bit more. Jessica, foster volunteers with us, as well as Candace once again. And Rory's joining us. We're just going to ask you guys just a couple questions, you know.
Just like one or two.
Good cop, bad cop, you know,
Okay,
something
I
like
see.
that. Discuss the foster care program.
It's really fun.
What's it all about?
Well, you get to hang out with very sweet little babies like this one.
Wow.
They were passionately telling us about how much they appreciate the foster program earlier.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, it saves lives. It really does. I mean, when we have animals that come into the shelter that are too little or that need time in foster care to recover from a medical illness or a surgery, they are our lifeline, or their lifeline. It makes a huge difference. It makes their recovery even quicker. It makes them grow quicker because they're happy and they're loved. And, you know, with foster parents like Jess, you can tell which foster parents have spoiled the kittens rotten because they are just so lovely.
Jessica, how long have you been a foster?
I've been fostering since 2019.
2019?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
You finding it good? You loving it?
I quite love it. I mean, there's been over 150 cats through my house,
So would you recommend it to others?
I would recommend it to absolutely everyone. There's always a population that will fit into your home, and it is so, so rewarding.
That's awesome.
And then, you know, 740 animals were placed in foster care in 2022, so it's also important to have people, you know, volunteer and give their time for sure.
Oh yeah, no. And last year was a record-breaking year, but with that said, there was also a record-breaking number of animals that needed foster care, so we are always happy to onboard new foster parents. If you're interested, there's more information on our website.
Interested to do that? Also to donate, 565-5300. The Regina Humane Society staff are there to help with animals that, well, they need it most. Let's hear from one animal protection officer about his job.
I'm Officer Flanders, and I'm an animal protection officer with the Regina Humane Society. The happy moments definitely stand out. There is a lot of rainbows, but there is also a lot of thunderstorms for sure. I received a cat around Christmas time, and the cat had a microchip. And we really boast having animals with a proof of ownership, collar, tags, microchips, tattoos. And this one did. And I ran the microchip in our database. Turns out, you know, all the information was older, but I tried calling the number. There was nothing on it. So I went to the address. Turns out the cat had been missing for 4 or 5 months. The cat appeared to be okay, you know, other than just a little bit of frostbite on the ears. It was around 11 p.m. at night, and I spoke with the female, and you know, the Christmas tree was up and stuff, so I put the cat near the Christmas tree. The kids came down, and they got their cat back for Christmas, so it was a pretty heartfelt moment, and it really makes the work and the job worth it at the end. By receiving donations through Telethon, donations in general, it helps us and provides us essential need and requirement, and the animals' welfare is at stake. You know, they need that support, they need that service. The owners, by the sounds of it, they almost had given up hope. You know, it was almost the dead of winter, and this one just turned out that it was a miracle, pretty much. So it was nice to see.
Okay, all is well. I have a kitten with me. This is Raven and Apollo and Dr. Catherine Ball, Director of Veterinary Care. And you guys have a clinic in the shelter. How does that benefit the animals?
The clinic in the shelter is so important. We get many animals through every single day that have all sorts of medical needs, everything you can imagine, from minor wounds to infectious disease. Sometimes we have eye infections or skin infections, little lacerations, sometimes frostbite injuries. And having a clinic available gives us a chance to help those animals, to get them comfortable without them having to wait, and get them patched up and ready to go to a new home.
Very, very important. And just like radio, every day is different. Sure, you go in knowing you are going to help animals and save animals, but what is a day in the life like?
A day in the life of a shelter veterinarian actually is well, as you said, different every single day. We certainly keep busy providing spay and neuter services. That is part of every single day that our clinic operates. But we have an assortment of animals that come in, sometimes with longer term problems. Sometimes we are interrupted in the middle of the day with an emergency that has come in that Animal Protection has brought in just that minute. And we're fortunate to be able to be there to help those animals when they need it.
Right, and you also do something that's very important. What can you tell us about sterilization and the importance of it?
Spay and neuter surgery is terribly important. One of the issues that we have to deal with every day in Regina is that we do have a massive overpopulation, particularly of cats.
Yes.
And by sterilizing cats, spaying and neutering, we render them unable to have more kittens, which of course helps to curb the overpopulation problem. But the truth is that spaying and neutering also makes the pets a little bit easier to live with.
Yes.
We don't have female cats going into heat and yowling at hours that we don't want to listen to them sing.
Absolutely.
We don't have male cats spraying on the walls of our house, making them stink. So, again, prevent overpopulation, make them easier to live with.
Right, and some people I've heard, oh, my cat won't do that. Oh, well, won't let my cat do that. And we don't have a choice. So that is just the responsible thing to do as pet owners for our pets. And like you said, you got Apollo there that's looking for a home. Little raven here, look how cute. Some incredible animals have been featured tonight. Thank you, Dr. Ball, for joining us. But if you're thinking of adding a pet to your home tonight, you just might meet one. We're going to go back over to Bill and Lisa, and they've got a few more adoptable pets.
Oh, we do. We have so many more adoptable pets. And right beside me is Dumplin. We got Peach over there, but let's talk Dumplin.
Let's talk Dumplin. Dumplin is not super pleased that Peach is here. She's a little bit nervous about
Not
that.
happy.
I think they'd be friends if she gave her a chance. Peach is very sweet. But Dumpling is a little girl, and she's about 3 months old. She is available for adoption at the shelter now. And I mean, with all the chaos that's going on around here tonight, I happen to think she's doing pretty darn well.
She's doing great. Yeah. All the animals are,
They
actually.
really are.
Old Hope's fallen asleep over there. He's been out for her sheep.
For like an hour.
For like an hour.
Yeah. You're on puppy cam, buddy.
That's a boring puppy cam.
I went crazy for the first
puppy
hour
milk
and
cam.
I'm out. Wake me up when we're home. And also here we've got Holly. And who have you got?
I have got Peach. So lovely Peach here came into us as a stray, and she is excited about the other dogs over here, but she's doing wonderfully tonight. She is about 2 years old, and we think about a husky cross of some sort with
Looks
some
like
shepherd.
it. Yeah, shepherd, husky, a little bit of everything.
So
you name it.
definitely-
Yes,
but
it's in there.
definitely energetic, but the friendliest dog ever.
Well, we do hope that she can find a home when we open for adoptions at the shelter Tuesday at noon, and we are open Tuesday to Sunday, noon to 6 for adoptions. But don't forget our satellite adoption centers. We do an awful lot of adoptions there. Almost half of our cat adoptions are through there, and they're very convenient. It's not Tuesday to Sunday. It's whenever they're open. The pets can go home right from the pet store, and you can even pick up some supplies while you're there. So don't forget, those places include where are we here? I've lost it. Yes, here we go. Cathedral Pet Shop, Halo Pets, Pat's Pets, Pet Depot, Petland, PetSmart, and Pet Value.
All right, and I know that what I really like about your adoptable and the partnership with those other places is that they're open during business hours. You don't
Absolutely.
have to, I mean, your location is great. It's out there a little bit. So to have something right in your own neighborhood that you can go and view a little new pet.
That's exactly the point of those, is the animals are kind of coming to you. I mean, we're on the way to maybe Melfort, if that's where you're going. We're not that convenient where we are right now. So those satellite adoption centers are awesome and crucial to getting those pets home.
All right. Well, we talk a lot about what resonates with you, and there's always a good story. So right now we have a video clip. We've got Booker. When Booker arrived at the shelter, he was in urgent need of care, and so here is how the Regina Humane Society helped transform his life.
Every year, thousands of animals pass through the doors of the Regina Humane Society. Some arrive stray, while others are surrendered, each in need of shelter and care. In late October, a timid 7-year-old Rottweiler arrived at the Regina Humane Society. Booker had been attacked by another dog, and his family could no longer afford the care he urgently needed. Booker's eyes were filled with sorrow and suffering. His body was covered in agonizing wounds. Numerous large infected abscesses filled his neck, chest, and legs. Society staff rushed Booker into the shelter's on-site animal hospital. Regina Humane Society veterinarians carefully examined their patient. Booker required sedation to properly treat his injuries. The skillful hands of the shelter veterinary team gently cleaned Booker's infected wounds. Drains were placed so healing could begin. Booker was given much-needed pain medication and antibiotics to fight the infection. Staff gently placed Booker in a t-shirt to help keep his wounds clean as he healed, and they monitored him. Soon it was time for Booker to continue his recovery in the devoted home of the Regina Humane Society's foster family. The mild-mannered old soul quickly gained a new sense of confidence and trust. He spent his time snoozing on the couch and staying close to his favorite people and the comfort they created. Almost 2 months after arriving at the shelter, Booker was ready to be placed up for adoption. Staff knew Booker was a wonderful addition to any family, if only given the chance. Little did Booker know that chance would come with the help of one of the Society's media partners.
Adoptable, and you sure have a cutie today, Bill. Can you introduce us?
Only 2 days after being featured on CTV Regina's 12 Strays of Christmas, this lovable senior met his match.
Here's your new dad!
The Regina Humane Society is grateful for the partnerships with local media, enabling the Society to share the stories of animals in need with so many viewers, listeners, and readers. Today, Booker is settled in his new home, free from pain and discomfort. Thanks to donors like you, the Regina Humane Society can address emergency situations and provide the best care possible to animals in need. Your support tonight will make a difference in an animal's life, just like it did for Booker.
Well, we're back here, and we have Booker and Rex, his brother, and his new dad, Robert Wood, here. And thank you so much for adopting Booker. He had quite a story up there. It was kind of touching watching that video. So how's it been going at your house with Booker?
Booker made friends with Rex within about 10 minutes. The two of them have been brothers. They have done everything together. They go everywhere together. They have made numerous other puppy friends as we've walked. Booker has turned into be a real sweetheart. He's the curious one now. He's the one that wants to go and meet everybody and do something. But he's very food driven. There's no question there. We're fortunate that I have a lot of people that have gotten to really like him, and he's benefited. He's just been a wonderful puppy dog, and you can see how laid back he is now.
He's very calm.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's. I know he was really, really shy when I came to meet him at the start, but he's not shy anymore. He's just full of it. So.
What would be the most rewarding thing that you can say about adopting Booker?
Giving him a good home.
Giving him a good home.
Obviously. I mean, I had never seen the damage that was done to him, but I had heard the story. And he needed a home. He looked like he might be a friend of my other dog. Rex made friends with everything that he meets, and I thought it would work, and it did.
Well, they look like family, that's for sure.
Oh, they are.
We really appreciate you doing that. And of course, this is what the Humane Society does. I mean, it's right here. Isn't it awesome? Keep those phones ringing, 565-5300. And we actually, they're not ringing? Should they ring?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got 4 people not on the phones. What's going on? This is for Booker and dogs like Booker, you guys. So phone in. We'd love to have 75,000 tonight, but we'll take 100,000. Isn't that right, Robert?
The more the better.
Absolutely. That's our motto tonight. The more the better.
Hey, let me win one of these lotteries and you'll get a lot more than that.
Well, that's Wednesday night. There's big changes coming up for the Humane Society, and we're going to find out what they are.
Yeah, some huge, exciting, much-needed changes. Back with Lisa, Executive Director from the Humane Society, and you guys have a new facility in the works. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's been a long time coming. We've been planning this project for well over a decade, so it definitely is highly anticipated, and we are so excited. It is going to be a game changer for animals in our community.
Yeah, I know for one of my coworkers, Joyce Peacock, Ralco Radio stepped up with the, what are we calling it, the catio? We're going to call it the catio, so I know that brings Joyce a lot of joy, and she's one of the first donators tonight. But what else can we expect from the new facility?
A lot of space, a lot of light, both space for the animals as well as the people who visit the Animal Community Center, because you know, we have volunteers. We want to make it a comfortable place for the animals, but also for the people who are coming to adopt.
Yes.
It's accessible. Where we are and have been for the last 6 decades, we're on the outskirts of the city. There's no bus service. We have volunteers riding their bikes out to the shelter on the highway. And so having bus service right out front and really being a part of the community is going to mean so much for volunteers and accessible for adopters as well as for our spay neuter program.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe you've been over there for 60 plus years. Wheels and I were there with Candace shooting some videos, and yes, that place is in need of an upgrade, not only for the animals, but for you guys that work with the animals. So it's super exciting. And when are we expecting that again?
Well, we're located on Parliament Avenue, 4900 Parliament Avenue. If anyone wants to drive by and take a look, construction is scheduled to be complete early in July, but we won't be moving in probably until fall when we move our entire operations over there. And we don't know, our building has given us so much, but it's time to go. We can't operate it there anymore, and this is really a new era for the Humane Society.
Absolutely, an exciting one. So best of luck in that huge move. Well-deserved new facility, though. But can't believe we're already a couple hours into this. Still some cute kitties here, and we do have a new total, I believe. See this kitty, Lisa? See this little kitty?
Hey,
oh, gosh.
I love how we talk cat.
Everyone starts changing. Yeah, it's amazing. As the night goes longer, everyone's getting a little tired.
But you know, cats bring in, and dogs, they just bring down our stress levels.
It's true.
And to support something like this just allows more people to experience that.
It is very, very true.
Yeah.
We had a 50-50 draw this year, and we had an awful lot of people that bought tickets for that. And the prize, it closed off at noon today, and our prize pool at that time was $17,825. So that makes the payout for the winner, who takes half, I believe $8,912.50, if my math is correct. And I would like to congratulate Suzanne Rondeau from White City, who won that prize. And thank you to Suzanne and everybody who purchased tickets for the 50-50, because, of course, the other half of that goes to the animals, and that is fantastic. And I think we're going to include that in this total, so we should see some numbers climbing here.
Should see a good number here.
There we go. 54,108. Thank you, Regina.
That's all.
That's absolutely fantastic. We're into our last hour, though, and we're still shooting for that $75,000, so we've got some work to do, and we know you can do it, Regina. You always do in surrounding area. You always are there for the animals.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that help out here today, and I just want to give a big thank to, well, actually, you know what, that Sub Express. I just inhaled one.
It was good.
Yeah,
they are good.
This is a lot. I do a lot of talking. We're all in it, so I just inhaled. So thank you from Lisa Peters.
Of course, as well, we got to thank Access Communications, of course, and our sponsor for this hour, Cowtown. In town, out of town. Got to be Cowtown, right? Also, Christie Lights for supplying the lighting, Coots Courier for incentive prizes, City of Regina, GV Audio for the microphones we're using. So a lot of people we have to thank, but the goal is $75,000. We need you to call 565-5300. So keep trying. The phones are all busy now, but just keep trying. You will get through. We need those donations.
Thanks for that. We will get to your call for sure. Don't forget, you can also donate on our website, reginahumanesociety.ca. You can scan the QR code that's up on your television screen or your phone screen. Easy. We've made it as easy as we can for you to participate and help the animals tonight.
It is. This is a great time just to support the Regina Humane Society and all the work they do in all the areas of Regina. I mean, from all the support places that you can go visit them, make the donations online tonight. Let's help them out. Visa, MasterCard, easy way to make your donation, so please help us online. Now, last year, 3,600 animals entered the Regina Humane Society and 2,085 found new homes. So thank you for that. And right now we're going to intro a video clip. Animal protection officers work tirelessly to help animals in our community. So let's take a ride along with one officer now.
A lot of people think that, oh, hey, we're just the dog catcher, but we do a lot in our position. We're contracted by the city to follow the bylaw, in which we deal with Dangerous Dog Act, dogs that act aggressively, injured dogs, running at large animals, injured cats, pick up strays.
I'm Officer Laura with Animal Protection. You called for a stray dog?
It's like a part of Rottweiler.
Shepherd, maybe?
I thought it was maybe those
people down the street here, but they said it wasn't.
Oh, good baby. I'm just gonna grab a blanket for her.
Definitely old enough to vaccinate. Old enough to
Oh,
vaccinate
yeah.
for sure.
She was not the ideal weight. You could see her ribs, and when she was eating, you could see that she was kind of breathing pretty heavily.
I have a dog in car for you.
Okay, go ahead with details. I'm Officer Laurel with Animal Protection. Is this your guy's dog? Okay, has he been left in here for a while? Or have you guys been out with him?
I'm visiting.
Oh, you're visiting?
I'm from Yorkton, yeah.
Because he's shaking and he's pot lifting right now.
Yeah, I know.
So he's showing signs of cold distress.
There's a heater in here. And, oh yeah, I take him for walks every day.
He can't stay inside the vehicle though, so is there any way he can go inside to warm up at least for...
Could take him. Well, I'm going over to my in-laws.
Because under the Animal Protection Act, your vehicle is not a proper form of confinement or shelter. So when he's in a vehicle, somebody has to be with him, and he can't be left in here.
Okay, well, I'll take him over to my mother-in-law's place and I'll leave him in the house there.
The animal did have food and water, and they did have a heater for him. Because he's saying he's staying tonight, I will have the officer who is working the night shift go and do follow-up tonight.
I have two running at large dogs, 900 block Reed Street.
Hey, bud! He was running down the street and into other people's yards?
No, I didn't know. We're kind of working on the house, so his home must have just, or he slipped out the door.
Does he have a current license with the city of Regina?
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll double check that, and if I can't find it, I'll let you know, okay?
Yep.
Okay. We are on our way to an address where a cat may have been left unattended to, and a maintenance person will be meeting us there with the permission of the owner of the building. What does the cat look like?
All I seen was white.
White?
Okay. Yes.
Alright. Come here. Hi. Hi, little bud. The neighbor was potentially feeding it underneath the door. The cat may have been left in the apartment for approximately 2 weeks. Okay. Hi. Yeah. The cat was definitely scared, and I guess we'll be able to do a hands-on and check the cat out when we get back to the shelter to make sure that he's okay and see what he needs. And we have him. This is the little guy. If someone's moving out or something has come up, at least if they can find somebody to look after the animal, that is the best bet. And instead of leaving them, they can call the Regina Humane Society, and we will pick them up if they aren't able to bring them out to the shelter. The neighbor apparently was putting some food underneath the door, and you can tell he's just wants some sort of attention because he's purring and kneading. They're not alone when they do need assistance. They can call us. We can try to give guidance as to what to do. There's options out there. I wish that everybody was able to take care of their animals properly, and if they're not, there is other means to take care of them. And we do try to help, and we try to educate more than we do try to take animals away, which a lot of people assume is what we do. So he's definitely hungry. He's inhaling where you can see. He's barely breathing while he's eating. It's unnecessary for any animal to suffer under those conditions, especially if they're not being attended to and not used to being left alone.
Well, we're back here with Candace and Holly has a little cat that I've met before tonight.
Yes, you've had the pleasure of meeting Miss Raven before. She wanted to come back out and say a big thank you to all the donors tonight. She is getting a little bit sleepy, but she is absolutely still one of the cuddliest little things. She's been falling asleep in my arms since I brought her out
I'm
here.
trying not to check my phone because I'm getting texts. Can Raven come home? And no, I don't know. We already have 3 cats. So.
Yes. Yeah. Raven, Rory, I mean, it works.
Well, the hair color is close.
Exactly. It's perfect.
We match. So Tuesday, also available, Candace, we have, I'm digging her ear hair. Alice is a really sweet angel.
She should enter an ear hair competition.
I think she would win.
If
So
that's not a thing,
if
we
you're
should
looking
make
for
it.
a cat with a lot of ear hair, Alice is your girl. But really, she is a very smart kitty looking for a home.
Oh, she is such a little cuddle bug. And the second you give her a butt scratch, she's like purring. She's got a motor, and you can't really tell here.
Here, purr for me.
Is what it would sound like.
Purr for me.
The phones were pretty busy. They're available now, so 306-565-5300. We have less than an hour to go, and now we are going to find out more ways to support animals. Got Lee over there and Amanda.
That's right, Amanda, manager of annual giving, including the Regina Humane Society in your state is another way for people to show their support to animals in need. How can individuals go about that?
The most important step, of course, is to have a will drafted. And surprisingly, almost 50% of people don't have a will. So the creation of a will is critical to ensuring that your wishes are carried out as you intend. So if you already have one, you can add a bequest to the Regina Humane Society. We also have draft will language for a bequest on our website as well.
Okay. I guess if you want to help out, why is it important, I guess, for the Regina Humane Society to be able to know about a person's intent to leave a gift?
Yeah, it's important for a few reasons. So the first is so that we can express our gratitude and say thank you to you guys. And the decision to include the Regina Humane Society in your estate shows a sincere commitment to our animals and a desire for your legacy of love to continue for years to come. And we just very much want to thank people for that. And secondly, it helps us to meet with you and discuss your wishes and anything that you might like to specifically support. Maybe like Hope here.
Like Hope, right, Hope?
Yeah.
Hope. Yeah.
She's got stuff to say.
She does,
She's
usually.
ready to go.
She is likes to run around a little bit, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that today. So once again, to pledge your donations, 306-565-5300. Whether you are mastering the basics of training your dog to do more difficult tasks and tricks, the Regina Humane Society training program, it can help.
Let's get started. So we're going to step in with the leg and the arm to get them to go around on one side. We're picking them up here, changing from one arm to the other, and then we're stepping in with both here to wrap them around this jump and feeding here. So they're doing a figure 8 and they're changing your hand twice. She's doing wonderfully. We're just actually going to take her on the inside. So she's going this way around the jump instead of the outside of the jump. Okay, we're going to change her here up to this hand, and then she's going to go here on the inside of the jump. There you go, good. And feed her for coming to your left. We're going to start to add handling on multiple obstacles. We're going to wrap one obstacle, and then we're going to wrap another obstacle. I'm just looking for you to get a feel for how to point yourself towards the next obstacle you're wanting to take. We're looking to develop flow. So what flow means is how I can move from one obstacle to the other. Okay, we can start with our dog and we'll move along with them. We can treat them when they come through, and I want you to work both sides. Okay, good girl, look at, she's like, I could do it. I could do it. Good, Joe, nice. You're going to also make sure that you're kind of moving with her. You're never typically going to do agility like this. You're at a slow pace. All right? Good girl. Your little course is going to start at the tire. We're going to do the teeter, treat any pause, whatever stage your dog is at. We are going around this jump. Treat, treat, treat. We are going through the A-frame. Then we are going to attempt to move through the double without a cookie in between here. And we're going to end with a tunnel. At the very end here, when they finish their tunnel, they're having a cookie party. Big party over here. So we will see you next week for week 4. And your tired dogs can go home and sleep on the sofa for a while.
So Bill Thorne is now here. We're going to talk a little bit about cremation services and online pet obituaries.
Yeah, well, pet cremation, I mean, it's something that we don't like to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, as pet owners, we love our pets. And I know I had someone tell me one day that, you know, pets will give you hundreds of some of the best days of your life and one of the worst. And that's when we have to say goodbye. But it is part of pet ownership, and most people will tell you that it's worth it to spend a life and to have loved something and have some creature love you that much that it does hurt a bit. And our pet cremation services help families with that closure. That service is available to them. We do pet cremations for most of the vet clinics in town as well as with direct clients at the shelter. And it's a way to help them, you know, say goodbye. We understand how it feels, and it's part of the process for sure.
And a big shout out to those staff that do that, because that is an emotional time.
It is.
For them too.
It is, and we have a wonderful staff in that department that work with people and talk to them, and because they're upset. And they understand, and they help them to get through it, you know, at a very difficult time.
So how can people find out more about this?
You can go on our website, click on Pet Loss, and you'll be able to find out the information about the pet cremation services. We also have urns and that kind of thing, and also pet obituaries that will allow you to, you know, publicly say goodbye and express your feelings about your pet for everyone to see. And those are free, and they stay up for a year, and that can be accessed at the same place on our website.
That's a great service. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
All right, well, over 36 animals entered the shelter last year, and let's hear from one of the staff members about how they help our community's most vulnerable animals.
I'm Holly Wright. I am Assistant Supervisor of Pathway Planning. I love being able to help the animals as well as help their new families and old families, so we can either help keep them in their homes, which is obviously ideal, or we can help find homes that will be perfect for them. Blake's story is extraordinarily special to me because I was there on intake when he came in. I was the first person to handle him, and you know, he was shivering and cold and very much struggling, and I spent a good chunk of my day with him at his kennel trying to warm him up. He was instantly almost grateful to have someone caring for him, and he curled right into my arms, just soaking up every ounce of heat and love and warmth. And honestly, it was one of the most heartwarming things to see his growth through the foster care program, as well as with our veterinary team. He ended up losing both of his ear tips and part of his tail and some of his paw pads to frostbite, but luckily he was adopted by a very loving family who will make sure he's never cold again. Watching them go from, you know, nothing to everything is the most amazing feeling. Donations help by giving us resources to take care of the animals. So from food to veterinary care, it is extraordinarily vital to what we do every day. And it takes a village to be able to care for these animals. And as much as, you know, we love and care about them, you know, we need the donations to help care for these animals and help them find their forever homes.
Less than half an hour to go in this 35th annual Regina Humane Society Telethon. The phones, we love to see it, busy. A couple of them are open, 306-565-5300, or you can always go online and make your donation there as well.
That's right. We have one nice pledge right here, and it's from Terry Waldbauer, $1,000. 1,000. Thanks, Terry.
Unbelievable.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so much, Terry. And we want to, there are incentives. Yes, you're helping the animals, but we do have a couple incentives when you donate as well. But we want to say thank you to Access Communications for hosting us, GV Audio for the mics, Christy Lights for the effects lighting, Coots Courier for delivering the incentive prizes within the city of Regina, and Sub Express for catering.
And they're pretty much gone, so that's how good they were.
No. There better be some French fries left.
I ran out there to get some food, but I thought somebody was out there already.
But
Anyway.
we're so close to the finish. So if you've been waiting to get your donation in, now is the time to get that in again online, or we would love for you to call. Maybe even Rory will answer the phone.
I might. 565-5300.
Now, families, as we know, are made at the Regina Humane Society every day. We're about to hear a story about a cat named Bambi and when she found her perfect match.
Regina Humane Society animal protection officers are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One night in late April, Bambi was found stray in a Regina neighborhood. She was alone, wounded, and struggled to walk. Animal protection officers carefully gathered Bambi from the street and brought her for immediate care. She received food, pain medication, and hope for what the next morning would bring. A team from the Regina Humane Society Veterinary Department was there to help. Bambi received intravenous fluids to fight dehydration. Like many other homeless animals who arrive at the shelter, it's difficult to know how Bambi was injured. She was unable to place weight on her front left leg, and her elbow was notably swollen. A full veterinary examination and x-ray revealed a terrible dislocation to her left elbow. The foul smell exuding from her torso indicated significant infection. Bambi needed surgery to amputate the badly damaged leg and repair the extensive wound on her chest. With help from donors like you, the Regina Humane Society on-site animal hospital was launched in 2011. Since then, thousands of animals have received critical medical care and hope for a second chance at life. Following the life-saving procedure, Bambi recuperated in the home of a dedicated foster family. Time and a stylish, cozy shirt would help heal her wounds. She adapted extremely well to her new life on 3 legs. No longer limited by her injuries, Bambi was able to explore her world without restriction. She played, cuddled, and loved her foster family with a newfound freedom. Thanks to Regina Humane Society staff and her foster family, Bambi reached a major milestone. She was fully recovered and ready for adoption. It was time to find a family to call her own. Shortly after returning to the shelter, she did just that. Bambi's friendly personality means she's often the center of attention in a new home, sharing her gentle and sweet nature with every cat, dog, and person she meets. From Animal Protection Services to the Society's veterinary department to shelter volunteers, everyone worked together to help Bambi get healthy, happy, and most importantly, home. All animals who enter the Regina Humane Society rely on this support network as they find their way to a new life. Your donation will help the Regina Humane Society continue to provide assistance to the nearly 4,000 homeless animals they will care for this year. Make your call now.
And now joining us by Zoom is Michaela Ripplinger. Of course, maybe Bambi. We'll see in the foreground maybe a little later on. But Michaela, I guess maybe discuss how Bambi, there she is, how she's doing in her new home.
Yeah. Oh, she's doing fabulous. She's like so friendly, so cuddly. She has quite a few siblings, so she's always got some company around, and yeah, she's just doing really well.
What would you say has been the most rewarding thing about getting Bambi?
I think just like the amount of love she has. Like she is just so loving, and it's just so nice to see her be so comfortable in her home, and it's just so rewarding having, you know, knowing she's coming from kind of a bad background but has a good home now. It's really nice.
Any quick stories you can share about how Bambi's been doing with obviously her siblings?
I don't know if I really have any stories necessarily, but I mean, her and one of her brothers play almost constantly. They're always giving each other's baths and running around, and she's pretty much the most loved animal in the house. So, yeah.
Well, it's good to hear, and it's great to see that Bambi's got a home. Thank you for joining us tonight, Michaela. Let's now go to the main stage where I believe we are about to get another total.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask about the kittens.
We do have another total, Lee, that's for sure.
Right
Here
on.
it comes. Oh, we're getting dangerously close.
Close.
About $64,000. Thank you very much, everyone who's called in or gone online. We still need to get to that $75,000 total so that little ones like these two up here can be helped and find a home and live out the life that they're supposed to.
Yeah, talkative little kitties.
They have been very talkative.
Extremely.
I want to sleep. I want to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, they will. So, Holly, who do we have cuddled up on our necks here?
Well, I have Crush and you have Marlin. These two lovely little kitties are about going to be 6 weeks old starting tomorrow, and they're going to be available for adoption in foster care starting Tuesday at noon. So they can be adopted, but they still need a couple weeks to grow a little bit bigger. See, Mr. Marlin here is very opinionated about this. He's like, I want to go home now, but so you got to wait a couple weeks, buddy.
They're beautiful kitties with the most gorgeous eyes as well.
Yes, very much so. The little blue eyes there and very vocal saying, pick up that phone, go online, make the donation so that we can get to our new forever home.
Yeah, every dollar counts, and time is running out.
Yeah. MasterCard, Visa, we take it all. Cash, QR code on the screen.
You name it. We've tried to make it as easy as we can this year. No excuses.
Or we can just take 4 guys with $10,000. They can call right now.
That would do it. That would do it. That would do it. Absolutely.
Right on. I know people that have that, so go ahead.
So 306-565-5300 or reginahumanesociety.ca.
Yeah, get those phones ringing. And I think now we're going to learn more about the farm cats, the working cats, through the Humane Society.
Yeah, we have a working cat right here. The cat is working hard to answer your calls.
You might be the lucky caller that gets to talk to Percy.
Right? Is that you know, when we talk about working cats, I think, yes, endless kisses, anxiety, but I don't think that's what we're talking about.
No. So our Working Cats program is actually geared towards cats that, come into the shelter that aren't really adoptable through the typical means. So they might be cats that were born on the street and have never really lived in a home. So that's not really their favorite thing to do. They don't really like to be around people. And as you can imagine, in the shelter environment, that kind of leaves us in a predicament. So many years ago, somebody cooked up this great idea, which was our Working Cats program. So what it means is we sterilize these animals and then we provide them to farmers, warehouses, really anybody that has a heated space for these cats and is willing to feed them and give them veterinary care free of charge, which is really cool because then these cats get a second chance at life and then they also get to go live a great life at a farm and a warehouse. And it makes me laugh every time because we get photos from these people, like these adopters, just of these cats and they're like, we love them so much. I actually had somebody send me, for their wedding, they had professional photos done with their working cats.
All cats have a purpose.
They do.
Oh, I love it. So how do you go about applying for maybe a working cat?
Yeah, so it's actually really easy. You can just pop onto our website under our adoptions tab. There's a little working cats area there. You just fill out a quick application, and then whenever we have cats that become available for that program, our lovely Annette will send out an email to all of you lovely folks, and then whoever wants them just has to reply to the email.
I love that. That is a great program. Well, now we're going to head to a video clip. Animal protection officers are on duty 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Let's see what they do.
The Regina Humane Society Animal Protection Officers are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to assist animals in crisis. These first responders provide emergency services to lost, injured, and abused animals. Officers respond to calls at all hours to help animals who require urgent care and attention. The Regina Humane Society believes this service is a vital part of its life-saving mission. Without the quick response of dedicated officers, many at-risk animals would face an unknown future. Regina Humane Society officers ensure a safe community for people and pets and respond to a diverse range of emergency calls, from dangerous dogs to injured animals to those in imminent peril or distress. They include investigation of animal cruelty complaints and seizure of animals where warranted under provincial and federal legislation. The Regina Police and Fire Departments, as well as Mobile Crisis Services, also rely on animal protection officers to assist with animal-related incidents in the city throughout the day and night. The Regina Humane Society is a safety net for any animal in need of emergent aid. Your donation will ensure that the Regina Humane Society is there, around the clock, to provide critical rescue and care to animals in our community.
All right.
And we're back.
And we're back.
With a friend. Lisa, who is this?
This is Spot. Spot is a year old, and he was surrendered to this shelter because he's too big. But as you can see, he's a big baby. And everyone loves him, and he is looking for a home and is available for adoption on Tuesday.
Right on. He's very, very sweet. Apparently he likes to eat. I heard a story. Anyway.
Yeah.
So what's going to be happening on Tuesday if somebody comes to, adopt a pet?
Well, they can visit the shelter. We're open at noon, and if they're interested in meeting Spot, they can fill out an application, and we can invite them into our meeting room, and they can spend some time getting to know Spot a little better.
Right on.
Yeah, and obviously we want them to get adopted, but the key thing tonight, we need those phones ringing, Rory.
Yep, 565-5300. And just so you know, the total, we're getting close, but 75,000 is the total, but we can go to 6 figures on the total board. It's digital, so we can go to $100,000 tonight. So we need people on the phones right now. I see there is...
It's too quiet.
It's too quiet. They're actually playing gin rummy over there. Yeah. Come on, you guys, phone in right now. It's all up to you guys. Thank you so much for phoning in and being a support for all these years. But we really need you to pull together right now and bring her home for us.
All right, let's go through a quick clip here. When animal protection officers brought Courage to the shelter, his leg was deformed and curled upward. Here is Courage's story.
We had been through kind of a challenging few years, and I felt like a dog would be good for the kids, for their mental health, for my mental health, that it would just be nice to have a dog. When Courage's picture came up and his story, and it just felt like the right fit for us, but the leg had to be removed. They decided that it wasn't fixable, and then he was with a foster family for a while who was fantastic. The kids instantly loved him. I instantly loved him. And he just won us over. He was just so perfect. You could just see his personality and who he was, and and how much he'd been through, and just that he was ready for a permanent home. So now a year later, he is a completely different dog. He's running around constantly. He is funny. He loves to jump around and tackle the kids and play rough, and like he's one of the pack.
He likes to lay on his back a lot with his legs spread, and going on walks. He loves walks, especially when we go to the park. That's his favorite.
He sees the kids as his other siblings, and he definitely plays with them and treats them like siblings. The Humane Society does an absolutely incredible job with their animals, especially an animal like Courage, who needed extra help, needed extra care, and they gave him everything that they possibly could to give him a brand new start. And the opportunity to foster through the Humane Society is such an incredible thing, and if you're able to do that, that's such a gift for these animals. People should donate to the Regina Humane Society in order to continue this amazing work, in order to be able to provide surgeries and the care, physical care that these animals need, as well as the love and attention and emotional care that these animals need, so that more animals like Courage, more pets, can find homes that love them as much as we do. He is the animal that can tell when you've had a rough day, and he will come and give you a snuggle. He will play with you when you're feeling down. He will do anything and everything to make you feel better, and we hope that we're giving him just as much for him, because he is filling our lives, and he is giving us all the love and support that we were hoping to find in an animal.
Well,
It was
Block
you
duties.
knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
You
sooner
knew
or
it was
later
gonna happen.
it had to. Well, we're getting down under 10 minutes now left until the show is over, and it's up to you now to make things happen and get us to our goal of $75,000. Hope has been doing her very best to entertain you all evening long. We've heard Rory, we've heard Chris, we've told the stories. Now it's your turn to ring the phone, 565-5300 or reginahumanesociety.ca to get us to our goal.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to a pledge here from Tanya, Black Cat owner. She's challenging you to donate $100 or more. I will. I used to have a black cat. Rest in peace, my sweet Finnegan. So because of Tanya's challenge, I will.
Cassidy
be
will have
donating
no nose
$100
left when she
there.
goes home.
And that's okay, and a lot of kisses from Sweet Hope here.
Well, I think Hope's going to have maybe a family soon with that kind of love, showing that kind of love. Because, there are a lot of animals here, and we really want to give them a second chance tonight. And tonight's important to continue raising those funds.
Yeah, keep in mind, almost all of the programs of the Humane Society are completely donor funded. Without you, they don't happen. So please, ring your phones, give us a call, go online. We really, really need to get to that goal of $75,000, and we're getting very, very close.
Yeah, and every bit counts. And we've got a couple donations. Does Dottie and Lexi, in memory of our lost pets, Kitty, Maudie and Salt and Pepper, Albino, Kazilla, and baby number 4. They gave $150.
Oh, that's nice.
We've got a couple $100 here from Ilya Silbar and $100 from Gloria Lefflar, but every dollar counts.
Yeah, and we will put it to good use. I guarantee you that it will help animals like Hope, who's been with us for a week or two now, and we're hoping that she can go home very soon, and the kittens that we've seen. And, we've got, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of 120 to 130 animals in our care right now. So we need to find homes for all them. We need to heal them. We need to grow them, and we need to get them into homes.
And we don't need to take any more home, Cassidy.
Maybe.
Oh, I was just going to leave with Hope. No, all of the animals featured tonight, they receive so much love after this evening, and they always seem to find homes.
Yep.
Yeah, really want to thank the Regina Humane Society for the care you do take for our animals, from rescuing them, from your officers, to taking care of them, and then the after. I mean, we talk about pet obituaries. It's all so important. So really, what a great way to make a donation to all of the programs that you do. We're so thankful.
Thanks to all who have donated, and I believe that we are going to get an updated total.
All right, I guess it's now we're bringing the animals in here. Let's get a new total here from the board. Oh, we're so close. 72,828. We need 75,000. We're going to hear from Rory in a second, but we got to get some thank yous. Thank yous to the volunteers and hosts, and of course all the donors. Thank you to Access Communications, to our hourly sponsors, Wheaton, Kia, Urban Cellars, Cowtown, to GV Audio for the mics, Chris Elise for the lighting, Coots Courier, Sub Express, of course, for the food. Thank you for everything that you have done.
You bet. Without you guys, it wouldn't work. All the volunteers, all the people on the phones, thank you so much.
There's hope. There's hope.
Yep.
There's hope. I think it's time to hear from you, Rory.
Well, this is a tradition, so this is a beautiful song. It's a love song, so I thought we'd end with this. Here we go. Turn it up because there's a lot of people in here. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my paw, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Now everybody take my paw. Take my paw. Take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Let's get another total. We got one more.
One more total. We got to get over.
Right on. Thank you, folks. Thank you for everybody. Thank you.
Still going to be open though for 15 more minutes.
15
so.
more minutes. We'll get to 75. Come on, you guys. I know there's guys $1,000 just in their couch. Let's go. We can make it tonight. God bless you, and thanks for supporting.
You need to meet your friends.
Yeah, I got lots of rich friends. Thanks, Regina. Thanks, everybody in the surrounding areas.
And keep ringing those phones, everyone.
565-5300. Drop off cash. Is somebody doing this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.